G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage.
Excuse me, I'm Tim.
And I'm Greg.
Go fuck yourself, Disney. Hello everyone and welcome to Casual Rage 58. Casual Rage, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. It is just the two of us tonight because of Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, Greg.
Thank you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you, though you're
I'll take
in
it.
Australia.
And happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the chat. I hope you've all had an awesome day. But yes, we've got a little bit to talk about this week. The sources have been proven wrong once again. We've got a little bit to talk about in regards to some of the Hollywood idiots out there talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. And I wanted to go over a little bit of Hawkeye because I ended up deciding to watch it. And it was more because if anyone who's seen these, my sister Nicole, I've done a couple of videos with her. And the one thing that she was most looking forward to was Hawkeye. So I thought I'll watch it and she's going to watch it. And we'll see what she thinks in comparison to what I think. But we'll get into that very, very shortly.
Hear that, so Nicole? If you're watching, he's throwing you under the fucking bus and blaming you.
Yeah, that's true. I am. She's my reason for watching it. But yes, hello everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Let's quickly go through the chat. As for the last couple of weeks, I keep forgetting to do until like we're half an hour in. So we've got Brian King. He says, Happy Turkey Day, Ryno. Happy Turkey Day to you too. We've got Dumont. I was talking to him on Anna, that Star Wars girl stream. She was doing a little painting stream and he was asking me a few questions about Star Wars and what I thought about it. How you doing? Miss Martin Muses. We've got Trey in the house. We've got I keep going to say Jedi. GB, Luke, how are you? What's up, Ryno in chat? Not much, dude. We've got OG Star Wars. We've got E. Clay Thomason in the chat. A few members there. Thank you all to my members. And of course, we had to have Lyndon telling me to fucking start the stream already, basically. Thanks, dude. He's been sort of killing it a little bit recently. He had another video that hit like 5K. I think that was his LeBron video. I'm thinking I need to start maybe just doing videos commentating on a few other bits and pieces. We got Mozza late. Yes, I was late. The reason for me being late, I was starving. So I ordered some food and yes, it was McDonald's.
Was this your sister's fault too, or no?
This is. It's always her fault. She didn't make the food. But yeah, the idiot driver parks outside my garage door and then walks a block in the wrong direction. I just didn't get it. As he's walking back, he's like, "I'm sorry, it's so confusing." I go, like, what's so confusing about a garage door? What do you think is on the other side of this garage door? Fucking water is what I said to him. Of course, we've got
I don't know. I'm always going to call it a garage now.
A garage. It's a garage.
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 You can have your garage. I'll have my havoc.
We got Dan Blackroyd in the chat. Hello, Dan. Is that Daniel? Is that Daniel James? Because I don't see Daniel anymore.
No.
No? Where's Daniel? I miss him. Who else have we got? We got OG with a few member emojis in there. I hate how it doesn't like show up in the actual text there. Metalong's in the chat. How you doing, Metalong? Good to see you. Brightest days here. We've got Lord. What is it? Lord Carno Jax. Carno Jax.
Sure.
Close enough. Gay Rage says Lethal. How you doing? And we've got this. Funnily enough, Greg just showed me this before. We might talk about. We may as well bring it up, Greg.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's funny. So, rumor JJ is doing a show to sequel the DT Pure Great Freaking Robot. Yeah. Here it is. Actually, just before we do, thank you for the $5, Laura. I appreciate that. And yes, we will get into that very, very soon. I just wanted to say, if you've been worried about Cowboy Bebop, I just noticed this, that Lethal actually says that it's saved. It's actually really, really good. And I want to show you why he thinks that it's really good. Like, he was saying how bad it was. He was asking me whether or not he should keep watching it. Not whether or not he should, but he was asking, like, I don't really want to keep watching it, and it's just stupid and blah, 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 blah. And like, I'm like, dude, just do it. There's obviously people out there that, you know, want to know your thoughts on it. So anyway, he thinks it's gotten better.
Even the people.
It just redeemed itself. Netflix Cowboy Bebop just redeemed itself.
I do love you.
I love the laugh after it. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to
almost Joker-esque there.
Yeah. Saved. It's saved. Yes. Just like Star Wars. Anyway, I just
it's like that moment Thanos punched Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yeah.
Max is in the chat. G'day. Sup, y'all? All right, let's take a look at this. So yeah, I just seen this. Timon's here too. G'day, Timon.
Hello, Timon. Yeah, exclusive. J.J. Abrams producing Star Wars sequel trilogy series by Faith McKay of Giant Freaking Robot. I give this article a negative 10 out of 10 as far as potential accuracy goes. So take this with not a grain of salt, just a whole bunch of laughing gas, because it's fucking stupid and absurd. But
yeah, the only and he would have had to have destroyed a contract that's worth $500 million.
Yeah, like how is like Warner Brothers is not going to be like, oh yeah, you can not produce anything for us that we paid you $500 million for, and go play around with some more Disney stuff. Yeah, that. Sure.
That's it. You can only laugh at it. That's it. Perfect.
I mean, I was saying before we started the stream, like, if I'm Warner Brothers and JJ asks me, I'd be like, hey, I'll let you out of the contract in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Give us the money back and you can go on your merry way. So if I'm Warner Brothers, I'm thinking, like, if this is the potential, like, to get rid of JJ and like get back out of that horrible deal that they cut with him, this would be fantastic for them. Like, it would be buy Warner stock kind of moment, but
yeah,
kind of doubt it.
I just how can you think that a rumor like this? I mean, they're saying it's an exclusive, but I don't see any validity to it. I mean, I haven't read through it. Have you read through it? We'll read through it.
No, I read through the first paragraph or whatever, and it looks like it's mostly fluff to get the article length up, and not really a whole lot of details. But
Okay.
we can read through it right now. It says,
Just give me one sec. I've just got to introduce
one.
somebody. We've got a guest here tonight. Let me. We want this one.
Роскомздрав не запретит.
Not bad, not bad. Now you.
Роскомздрав не запретит.
That is awesome. I forgot about
Hello, Steph.
Hi, Ryno.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Intro.
Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
How are you?
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Did you eat a lot?
I did. I
Yeah.
almost passed out, but then my mom gave me coffee. So
Nice.
good. Legit
You-
almost
you-
passed out.
You start sitting on the couch and you undo that top button. You're like, oh, and then you're about to fall asleep and you just smell
Oh God,
smell
there's
the
just
coffee.
nothing more comfortable than a food coma.
Yeah.
I know,
Just like-
right?
You're
I
just like
know.
all like,
Last
warm and cozy, and you're just like,
yeah,
But not
last
only that, like-
Thanksgiving I just passed out in my parents' bedroom. I was like, all right, I'll be back. And then I just fell asleep.
And then you never came back.
Yeah.
I love it. Like it's well, we don't have Thanksgiving here, but it's the same for Christmas. Like you sit down, you're in that food coma. You're just sitting there. You might have the TV on. Like here, we might have the cricket. Oh no, there wouldn't be any cricket on because that's the next day. You'd have something on, and you just start dozing, falling asleep. Your eyelids get heavy.
Mhm.
Anyway, awesome.
That's exactly how I felt earlier. But then I
Mm.
got some coffee in me and I was all good.
Nice.
yeah, it's like this really sharp curve. Like if you can get past it, then you get like your second wind, and you're good for like a long while after that.
Mhm.
I
But if
know.
you succumb to it, then you're like drowsy the entire.
You're
even if you
drowsy
wake
the
back
rest of
up,
the
you're
day.
drowsy the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You
Yep.
just got to power through that damn thing.
Yeah. It's that turkey coma. I love turkey comas though. Turkey comas though. Oh, they're so great. Like you sleep so good. My niece, the niece that hates me, she drank like got 2 or 3 Dr. Peppers. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track, but or not Dr. Pepper. She had like a couple of sodas. One was a Dr. Pepper, the other one was like Big Red or something. And like I kept seeing her with soda. And then at one point she's like running around. And then we were like, where's she at? Where's she at? And I went into the kids' room. My parents have like their little kids' room for their grandkids. And she was passed out on the floor with like her phone and with the phone in front of her watching like this ABC's thing, just passed out. So she had her sugar high and then she crashed.
That's so good. You love that.
Kids can sleep anywhere.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it looks like you both had a pretty filling Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, did you see this at all, Steph? Probably not.
No, I really don't like keep up
Follow
with
any
Star Wars stuff anymore. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go through this really quickly because it is a ridiculous article.
I
You did see the headline, right?
Do you see the top stories on the right before we get to this?
John Krasinski.
cast as Superman. I kind of want to read that more.
I know, right?
Well, maybe we can take a quick glance over that after we go through the
I mean, if you really
ridiculousness
think
of
that this site is going to be accurate in the reporting, let like, I guess John Krasinski is going to be the next Superman. You saw it here first, folks.
Well, I saw a thing on Twitter. Somebody said that both The Rock and it's not Superman, but both The Rock and what's his name, the guy that plays Spider-Man now, Tom Holland. Said that they both wanted to be James Bond. Who would you pick?
Yeah, neither. I would pick neither.
Yeah, me too. I don't want either of them.
Neither.
Anyway, I know it was.
What they need to do for James Bond is cast a relatively unknown person. I know a lot of people are high on Cavill, but I would cast an unknown, and I would cast it as a period piece, because I think James Bond needs to live in a certain era. I don't know if that kind of story or his character works well. Rather than try and modernize the character, just tell the story back in that time period where he does fit in better, where the world is more true for him, rather than try and modernize him and bring him into the modern era, because I just don't think that's going to work. But I'm not a huge Bond guy, so I honestly don't. I'm not.
If they
very
didn't do
invested.
it, if they're not going to use Henry Cavill to do Superman, who would be the Superman? Who would you have to cast as Superman? Who do you reckon could do it?
Well, I mean, you have to make him black, and then you have to, like, if you follow the
You have to
rules
make him bi.
if you follow the rules of all casting decisions now in fandoms, then it has to be Idris Elba, because they have, he's like, well, because you have to cast him or Benedict Cumberbatch or Henry Cavill in every single thing. That's everybody's.
I reckon RDJ could do it.
Robert Downey Jr. No.
No.
He's tall enough. He's got the right hair color.
No.
I actually think John Krasinski could. Like, if he maintained that physique, and really kind of bulked up for it, like, I honestly think he could.
Nah.
I still wouldn't watch it.
I just don't see him. Like, Henry Cavill, just born to play Superman.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone else. I really can't.
Well, I'd say
Anyway.
go backwards and go Nick Cage.
Ah!
Yeah.
Let's
Let's do it. Let's see.
Let's see it with the glowy suit and everything. Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I mean, the superhero genre is dying anyway. Let's have some fun with it.
I reckon Nick Cage, you'd make a good Joker.
He's too old.
No, I know now, but like, even, what gives me that thought is Face Off.
Oh yeah, when he's like,
when he's off,
when he
ends up off his head, like,
Yeah.
he's yeah. I reckon he would be able to do a great Joker. G'day, Cell Shade. We need to catch up. Just quickly.
Do we need to see like another Batman Joker movie?
perhaps
Another one? Like,
perhaps
I
the
wouldn't
Robert
mind
Pattinson
seeing-
one is going to give us a Joker.
But it's year one, right?
2. Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, technically year 2.
I want to. The thing, I suppose, the only real evolution of Batman that we've sort of seen is, what's his name? Like Batman Begins and those ones. There's no.
I would like a Batman Beyond. That would be pretty cool.
I think they just need to put Batman in the cellar for a few years. Give him a breather.
A breather.
We need evolution of the story. That's what we need. And it's kind of the same with Spider-Man. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit older Spider-Man, and yeah, we do get bits and pieces here and there, but you never really get a full-on story. Anyway, I just want to quickly say, Soul Shade, we got to catch up. I ended up having to work this morning. I don't know if you meant because we're supposed to be catching up today at some stage. I hope you mean like after this stream, because I can do that. Let me know. All right, let's go through this stupid article. The fact that apparently J.J. Abrams is coming in to do a series continuing on from which, based on what Kathleen Kennedy just recently said, it might be true. There might be some truth to this. It just might not be JJ. Maybe it's Rian Johnson and they're trying to cover it up.
I think it's just a big pile of garbage, but let's read it.
Let's.
Right now, Star Wars fans are waiting on the Book of Boba Fett and eventually The Mandalorian Season 3. However, they know that there's a lot more Star Wars on the way. Ahsoka, Andor, The Acolyte, and more coming soon. These shows will explore characters seen in The Mandalorian, characters from Rogue One, and characters no one has seen on screen yet. Ooh. The Star Wars universe is growing, but it suspiciously seems like some established stories have been left behind. Now we've learned that this isn't the case. Thanks to some work from one of our trusted and proven inside sources, Giant Freaking Robot has exclusively learned that J.J. Abrams is producing a show that will be a sequel to the Star Wars sequel trilogy. How wonderful.
Okay.
Being a sequel to the sequel trilogy...
Pause just there for a second. Think about the way the sequel trilogy ended, right?
Mm-hmm.
What story do you think they could tell?
Well, somebody conks Daisy Ridley's character on the head, and she loses her lightsaber, and she gets amnesia, and it's an epic 3-movie arc of her trying to find where the fuck she buried the other lightsabers in the sand.
She's just digging holes for the whole show.
She's just digging holes on Tatooine, because everything on Star Wars has to be on Tatooine, so it's perfect.
Yeah. I like it.
It's just 3 episodes of her digging in the desert.
It just makes me... I know that most people won't know, but it makes me think of the castle. Dad, I dug a hole. Well done, son. Anyway, continue.
You say continue as I take a big swing.
Sorry.
Being a sequel to the sequel trilogy should mean the series will take place after the events of the Skywalker saga. Yeah, that would be what a sequel is. With J.J. Abrams involved as producer, it would seem more likely that some of the original cast members from the films could return. However, we were unable to confirm which stories they intend to tell. Will it center on Rey? At the end of the sequel trilogy, she announced herself a Skywalker and wandered off towards her new future and just lit her lightsaber for the sport of it. Will she still be using that name? Or will the story veer away from Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, and focus more on characters like John Boyega's Finn? John Boyega has been open in interviews about his Star Wars experience, and it isn't all positive. No shit. He does not like how his character story wound up in the end of the sequel trilogy. To be fair, a lot of fans didn't like how that ended up either. Would a series centered around Finn rectify that? Would J.J. Abrams be able to convince John Boyega to return at this point? Would he want to? What else is he doing? There are really big questions that must be on the mind of J.J. Abrams as he moves forward. At this point, what's his name, who plays Poe Dameron, has got really much going for his Hollywood career. I think it would be rather easy to convince.
That's only because of Dune, though.
Daisy to come back. What's that?
Oscar Isaac is only really because of Dune that he's still sort of relevant at the moment. I mean, I don't know.
He's considered though an A-lister, though, with a talented A-lister. I don't think people had a whole lot of. I don't think people looked at the Star Wars movies and said like, "Wow, Daisy's a great actress," or like, "Let's cast her in everything." And the same with John Boyega. Well, they just didn't get the opportunity in those movies to really make a name for themselves. And traditionally, Star Wars only really get like one guy comes out of Star Wars, a Hollywood mega celebrity going forward. That was Harrison Ford out of the first one. This one, it's probably Oscar Isaac. Because he had stuff going for him before coming to Star Wars as well. He wasn't completely unknown.
Yeah,
unlike the other two.
Well, I think Oscar Isaac is probably the best actor out of all of them. He definitely emotes the best, and he definitely, I think, does his roles well enough, the ones that I've seen him in. Trey, I've got to disagree. I know you say they wouldn't come back, and I know John Boyega said you ain't going to Disney Plus me and all of that kind of thing, but money talks, man. Like, you know, that after The Force Awakens, Harrison Ford said he's not coming back. That was it. He was done. He said that the whole thing was to not, and he came back for The Rise of Skywalker, despite the fact that he looked like he just rolled out of bed.
I really think that he probably came back just to finish it off for Carrie Fisher. Like, I really think that's why, because, you know, the Rise of Skywalker was supposed to be her movie, and she ended up dying. So I think that he finished it off just so, like, I guess he could help.
I'd still love to know
with
how much
that.
I'd still love to know how much he got paid to do that one tiny little scene.
Yeah, I mean, he was on set for probably like one day, and
Yeah.
like he didn't even get his hair done for the role. He
Mhm.
was like,
That's my point, though. If you can roll him out of bed to come and do one scene in a Star Wars movie after the agreement was, you're going to kill me off and I'm never coming back. I'm done with this role. I hate the role. Blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
You know, even if there was some heartfelt thing behind it from Harrison in regards to wanting to do it for Kerry, fair enough. I can see that and understand that, but I still don't think that would have been enough for him. I still think they begged him. Like, he wasn't supposed to be there, was he? So they changed the script so that he was there.
yeah, but like as far as like John Boyega, you got to remember, like when he was saying those things, that was pre-pandemic, right? The box office is worth less than half of what it used to be currently, which means that these actors aren't going to get the money that they used to get. If you look at box office receipts, and I know a lot of people like want to point and make fun of particular movies and then give other movies complete passes, but the box office is down across the board very substantially.
Yep.
And I don't see how they can make money on $200 million movies anymore. Like, you know, Ghostbusters is going to end up making money only because it's allegedly really cheap. It was $75 million to make the movie.
It's
really?
relative to what it cost. Yeah.
Yeah, if you believe that published number, and I don't know if I quite believe that, but like if they did, good for them. That's kind of like the perfect zone for budgets right now for movies, considering that they're the upper cap that these movies are going to do has been substantially knocked down. I don't even know if this new Spider-Man movie is gonna smash it. Like it should based on the previous ones, and the fact that it's got the gimmick going for it, bringing back the other two Spider-Mans and older characters from the other movies that people like more. But I don't know. The box office just isn't doing very well. So the future is streaming. Like that's where, and I think a wise actor is going to kind of read that and go like, yeah, like I'm not going to get the $50 million, $20 million paydays because they can't afford those. And like, I ask for that money. They're going to say, take a hike.
Yeah.
So I think it's very plausible to get them back. Hell, even Oscar Isaac, if he's available. I think Oscar Isaac, it's going to be availability more than desire. So
I don't know.
They could do another set of movies that take on, just go a different direction.
Well, they're
if they
talking about
wanted
this as
to.
a series as well. Like, what if they are going to Disney Plus the sequel characters? Maybe that is where they're going to go with it.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not saying that there's any validity to this fucking article. Thanks, Lethal. I'll get to those in a minute.
Yeah, have fun reading those, buddy.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. He did this to me on my fucking Twitch stream.
I saw that. Oh God, there's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the bookmarks to the
evil.
fanfic there.
Fuck. Let's finish this.
I mean,
I'll
I think reading those chats actually certifies you as being a thought now, Ryno.
Me?
Yeah.
If I read them.
He's paying you to read that kind of smut. Like a good little bitch. You're a thought.
I'm so disappointed. The full Aussie's over. We're done.
Oh.
We are done. Nah.
Oh no.
let's finish this and then I'll read them.
You want me to finish reading this?
Well, are we finished with this? I mean, I don't really think that we got to go through much more. Oh, they mentioned Rian Johnson. Let's get down past that.
All right. As the search for these roles moves forward, the temptation to take them on for himself must be there. He let Rian Johnson take over for The Last Jedi and then took the sequel trilogy back for its conclusion. Even if he intends to let someone else take the new project on, it seems likely his involvement will level up with time. He's worked on shows like Lost in the past. He's seen the success of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. It seems hard to believe that he won't be tempted to do more in a series that continues stories told in his previous work. It'll be interesting to see who J.J. Abrams eventually decides to work with, the stories they decide to tell, and how this shapes up. So,
There's nothing to it. It's I don't see the whole thing that makes this thing fall flat on its face is the fact that they're talking about J.J. Abrams coming back. And with the $500 million contract that he's got with Warner, I don't see how he's going back to Disney to do this. And what, to do a series of all things? Even if it is a couple of movies.
They have a page here with all the stuff that they've proven that their sources are correct. So,
all right.
Look at all these things that they've been so correct from.
Do I have to? As Ray got up,
Ryan Gosling is canon Barbie movie? They're doing a Barbie? Okay. I'm going to have to visit this site more often. This is fascinating stuff.
As Ray got up, putting on her clothes, she noticed the many cuts and scars across Ben's back that she did not see while physically abusing him as a lover.
That's embracing. You have to read it like you're reading a romance novel.
You show me how.
I'll read the last part. You read it. You have to do this. Upon the sight of Ben's wounds, she couldn't help but shed a tear, knowing the pain Ben had endured over his life. However, in that sadness, she discovered happiness. She knew he'd never hurt again and could protect him. That's how you have to read it.
Yeah, note the dramatic pauses in that.
I'm not reading it like that, Greg.
Read it like that.
As Ben turned to look in her eye, as Ben turned to look eyes with, is that supposed to be lock eyes? As Ben turned to lock eyes with his true love, Ray leaped out of the bed, still not completely dressed, and embraced him.
Read it like that, Ryno. Read it.
As Ben turned to lock eyes with, I'm not reading it fucking like that. I can't.
I don't do it.
As Ben turns to lock eyes with his true love, Ray leaps out of bed, still not completely dressed, and abused him. Embraced him. Abused him. Same fucking thing. It's all abuse. Lethal just abused me, okay? I feel violated by Lethal's comments. There you go, Lethal. Thank you for your fanfic crap. I did notice Jock Nerdy, TD, few people have jumped in. Thank you for coming by. Stunning and Brave Megatron's here as well. Thank you, guys. Had to click on this one. It's
just a voice. Gonna voice the character. Not interested.
Oh, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? This is for you, Lethal. Can you see the ball sack now?
You're like stroking your leg with your one finger too.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We'll go into the Kathleen Kennedy and what she said soon. This is something I think that everyone can have an opinion on.
We have the chat writing the story. Stunning and Brave has a new chapter.
Oh no! Look what you've done, Lethal. Stunning and Brave Megatron for $7.
Gotta read it right.
Ben then pulls out his tiny hot dog and she laughs in his face. Tiny little fuck. All right, thank you.
I can't picture Daisy Ridley quite laughing like that, but okay.
I had to make it my own. All right. So I think let me blow this up a bit. It's quite small. That's what she said. I think most people have seen this. I think we're all in agreement that the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict was correct. True. I don't think there's anyone here that thinks that he should have been guilty.
Oh, no, I was on Team Kyle the whole way.
Yeah. Steph, you were Team Kyle. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone in the chat here, I would assume, is the same. So we've had some pretty fucking stupid shit coming out of the mouths of some of the check marks, the fucking just the Hollywood elite people that think that they're doing the right thing and so virtuous in what they're saying is so great. I'm not going through the article. I just want to go over what he actually said, which is further down here. Right here. So, I mean, this we'll go into the Mark Ruffalo one because that is fucking bad. But this one, I fucking hate. What, the Ruffalo one?
Yeah.
Or this one?
No, the Ruffalo one,
yeah.
I think is worse. The JoJo thing, but
way worse. So Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 27, murdered August 25th, 2020. Rest in peace. Now, like people have been seeing, like even LeBron James's comments on a few of these things. Some of the real well-known people out there are talking some absolute garbage.
Mm-hmm.
How do you to me, when I see stuff like this and I see people supporting this, like it actually makes me sick knowing what these two people actually did. And the fact that there's this kind of support out there or praising them or making them a martyr of some sort. What are your thoughts, Steph? I mean, we all know. Go on.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous. So many people so many people still think that he shot Black people. A friend of mine came over and he thought that he shot Black people. And I was watching the trial. I was glued to Ricada, the last few days of the trial. And he didn't understand why I was watching it. And I was just like, are you kidding me? This is the craziest thing ever. Why aren't you invested in it? And, he thought that Kyle had shot Black people and that he was attacking them and that he was an active shooter. That's the stuff that's just been out there since it happened. And I had to explain, like, no, that's absolutely wrong. And he couldn't believe how many lies were being spread about this. And then when Kyle, when the verdict came back not guilty, a bunch of people in his office were like, oh, yeah, he's going to get away with murdering Black people because he's white. So many people still think that it's wrong. And the fact that the mainstream media are continuing to not only push that, but also just that whole parade crash that happened, because that crash and that accident was caused by a person of color, a Black guy.
I heard it was the car's fault.
Yeah, it's the car's fault now. Oh, he was running away or he was being pursued. He had no choice but to crash into all these people. They're trying to paint a different narrative. And of course, with woke Hollywood being how they are, they're going to assist the media in continuing this narrative. It doesn't fucking matter what kind of pieces of shit these two people are. They don't care. They'll get ratioed. They don't give a fuck.
Well, it's the way they report the shit. Like with that SUV thing, I saw headlines and it's saying like SUV plows through crowd of people or whatever, whatever it is. And like I'm saying, it's the SUV's fault. If that was a white guy, it would be white supremacist plows through crowds of Black people.
Oh, if I remember, I can't remember what it was. Oh, when the shooter went to El Paso, wasn't it El Paso? And he went to a Walmart or something like that and he started shooting people. They went to his van. His van was like so many like Trump stickers and blah. They had so many reports just on the van, showing the van. So many reports about just the van. And you know, I mean, it's so ridiculous. And there's so many reports now, things that you're reading about this man, you know, who like wrote just disgusting things, you know, kill all the white people. And they're not reporting any of that. They're not reporting that. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. You know, they're continuing to push this ridiculous narrative and this continuous divide between people that, you know, it probably caused this guy to, you know, be like, oh, well, kill all the white, you know what I mean?
You know, this guy could have watched some of that mainstream stuff and they're saying, you know, gets away with murder, killing 2 black people, crossing state lines. I didn't know crossing state lines was illegal. They're trying to say that he crossed state lines with a gun, which just isn't true. Or like all of these things. That guy could have just been sitting there watching that, taking that as truth, trusting it, and then going off and doing what he's done.
Right. And they were saying that like he was being chased. The only officer that I've read so far, I'm not too sure because I haven't been reading too much, but like the officer said that he was pursuing him on foot. He was like, "Oh my God, this is what's going to happen." He saw it about to happen.
I didn't know they were protesting. I thought it was just a Christmas parade.
It was a Christmas parade.
There was no protest.
Yeah, there was no protest. It was a Christmas parade.
And the people he ran over were groups like the Dancing Grandmas and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
There's video out there where he was running over it was like a band. I mean, when he first gets there, he runs over like a band. It's ridiculous.
That is actually
and the
true.
fact that you know, the fact that like Pedro, the super woke, it's the super woke of Hollywood. The ones that don't have a brain, it's all mush, you know, woke mush. Like Pedro Pascal and Mark Ruffalo, they're the ones that are fucking putting this shit out there. Like, oh, rest in peace. Gone too soon. Poor JoJo. Like, give me a fucking break.
Well,
I don't care if they get wrecked. They need to.
Well,
people need to start speaking up about this because it's so disgusting that they're doing that. They're putting this out and painting these pieces of shit as if they're like what, martyrs for a cause. No, they're not martyrs for a cause. In fact, the I think it was the pedo Rosenbaum that was just released from prison that day. He was just released from prison.
Was it prison or was it a hospital?
He was released from a mental hospital.
I thought it was prison.
No, it was through the court.
He said he wasn't. He was. There was testimony that said that he said that he's not going back to prison.
No.
And where did he go?
He was released from a Milwaukee hospital.
Where did he go? He went to a protest or.
Well,
no,
he went to see his girlfriend who's homeless.
Other than his own, other than to loot.
He literally had no home to go to, so he just decided to go down there and create some shit. The dude was in the hospital for a domestic disturbance. That's why he couldn't stay with his girlfriend, because there was a restraining order. He could not technically even lawfully go see her because
she's homeless anyway, isn't she?
She was living in a hotel at the time. I don't know where she is now. But so he was hospitalized for being suicidal and for the domestic disturbance that occurred between him and his fiance. That's why he couldn't stay at his fiance's house and had to leave. And he literally had nowhere to go. So he just decided to go to the protest to fuck around because he literally had no house. He had no place. His girlfriend,
which is a very dangerous person in that state of mind, especially with their history, right? To have out there with nothing to lose.
Well, yeah, a guy who was just released from the hospital for basically for suicide watch, and then goes down there and starts shouting "shoot me" N-word at people. Like, I think the dude had a death wish.
I've got to disagree with you there, Christopher. I'm sorry. I don't want to go back and forward. You can, of course, you can think about it the way you want to think about it, but he didn't really go to a protest. He went to a riot to protect property, and he was putting out fires. He was doing what he could do, and the only reason why people got shot and killed was at the last moment. Like, he's thinking, this guy hits me with a skateboard again and hits me in the head and knocks me clean out. I'm done. I'm like, you got to
people who open carry.
You have
which
to
is
look at it
completely
from
legal in Wisconsin. Is not intent to murder anybody.
But
you have to look at it from Kyle's point of view. Okay, this wasn't the first night of rioting. In fact, nights before, there have been men that were trying to protect their businesses that got completely just pounded by the protesters that were protesting. So, and the police were told to just let them do it. Let them do it. Stand by, but let them do it, which is why Kyle got pepper sprayed when he tried to turn himself in. So look at it from their point of view. If the police aren't going to be there to help them, what do they bring? Obviously, the rioters have stuff in their backpacks because they were making napalm bombs and shit like that, and they have their skateboards to hit people. So
I don't know if they're they were.
So what? You're just gonna go there and just, you're just gonna go there, hoping that they're not gonna. Don't worry, we're gonna protect these businesses unarmed, and just be like, please back away from this business, please don't burn it down, and they're gonna listen to you. No, you're gonna go there armed.
The gun and Grambo in the thing was the best.
It wasn't just Kyle that brought a gun. There were plenty of people there who were armed, including the people that were protesting. They were also
shots
armed.
being fired all the time.
The guy who fired into the air that caused Kyle to turn around in the first place was.
That's right. So let me. I don't. This is the thing. People have been like. There is a lot of misinformation out there. The problem is that we're not the ones feeding the misinformation. I watched nearly this entire trial. I live in Australia. I don't fucking care, right? Gun laws, this and that. It was interesting for me actually to know. So it actually it piqued my interest with all these different things that were coming in and being said and this and that, right? I watched the entire trial. Now, yeah, he did shoot and kill somebody before getting hit by the skateboard. This guy here, the pedo, right? He was the one that was saying, I'm going to kill you if you're alone. I'm going to kill you if you're alone, making threats earlier in the night, right? Then Kyle ends up by himself. It's all on video and it's all in the trial. This is what I don't understand, right? When you actually look at the facts and the things that happened, yes, you can say that, it's Kyle's word against this person's word. You can say that if you want. But when you look at the evidence, and that's why the jury said there is nothing that can be charged here. This guy can't be charged with anything based on the evidence, video, everything. We went through 3 weeks of court. They thought it was only going to be 2. Right? What? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. And everybody's saying, the justice system is it's a white supremacist justice system.
That's one of the interesting
and it's just meant to be that way. I just want to explain. This guy, Joseph Rosenbaum, was the guy that threatened him earlier in the night. Then Kyle ends up by himself, now scared shitless because this guy's behind him, now chasing him, right? He puts down the fire extinguisher. The I can't remember the guy's name, the guy that shoots in the air that's behind him. He's having some sort of quick discussion with him. Joseph Rosenbaum starts chasing him. He runs away. The guy that he was talking to pulls his gun out and fires a shot in the air and that's from behind Kyle. Not only that, but Joseph Rosenbaum then throws his bag at him, not knowing what's in it. Kyle turns around, faces his gun at him, and actually for that split second subdues Joseph Rosenbaum, but it doesn't do enough. So Kyle then turns back around, right, and continues to run away from him. So actually slows down his running because he thinks he's done enough to stop him, right, is my actual thought process when I watched the video, right? And then Joseph Rosenbaum sprints towards him, grabs the barrel of the rifle, which has come from doctors saying that there's gun soot or something on his arm and on his hand. So he was close enough to the barrel to be grabbing it, right? And he unloads 4 shots in 0.7 seconds. It's not bang, oh, he's down, bang, bang, bang. No, it was bang, 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 bang. Like, the guy's reacting within seconds to save his own life. You look at the evidence, and Christopher, please.
What's interesting about this trial
I've got your comment up. I'm not.
No, that's fine. What's interesting about this trial is that you can look at all the evidence. It's out there. It's been out there. It has been out there for you to view. You can look at it. Most self-defense cases, it's my word against the person who's dead. But in this case, there's video evidence of it everywhere. You can clearly see that it was self-defense. It was literal self-defense in every single case. He wasn't an active shooter like the prosecution made him out to be. No, if he was, he would have started shooting at the beginning of the night.
Rounds. Why did he only use 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots? Why did he only use 8 shots
while he was running to go turn himself
to the police to turn himself in?
While he was running to turn himself in,
the
evidence he didn't shoot anybody. There was someone out there like with a I don't know, a bar or something like that. He didn't shoot him. Because why? He didn't come after him. So this is a clear case of self-defense. It is complete self-defense. It's something that you have the right to do as an American. You have the right to defend yourself if someone is coming at you. So no, I don't think that he should have been charged with anything.
We don't have guns here, but if I get attacked, right, and that means that I've got to use my fists to get out of this situation where I feel like I could be killed, and I end up killing a man with my fists under self-defense, it's the same fucking thing. I was afraid for my life. It gives me just enough cause to take a life and use deadly force to save my life. It wasn't provoked. Kyle never provoked anyone. And that's another thing that the prosecution, they bring in 2 weeks after trial and they start going, oh, we want provocation or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, yeah. They had to change their argument.
They had to change their argument from their opening statement to the middle of the trial to the end of the trial. The prosecution's case changed 3 times. The defense's never changed once.
Right.
I'm sorry, Kyle, he should not have been charged for anything. Not one thing. He did not do one thing wrong that night. It's fair enough to say, you know, maybe he shouldn't have been there. Maybe he shouldn't have. But he was there, and he was allowed to be there, and he was legally allowed to be there. He was legally allowed to be there with that gun. He was legally allowed to be there crossing the state lines. He did nothing illegal. And at the end of the day, he was legally allowed to kill and shoot these 2 men and blow off the arm of a guy that's going to have to figure out how to pull his dick a different way.
Back to the other thing, because there's so much that we could talk about the trial itself, but
yeah.
When it comes to Hollywood and it comes to people like Pedro and it comes to people like Ruffalo, the truth of the matter is they don't give 2 shits.
Nope.
Actually, about either Rosenbaum or Huber or Grotskreutz, the guy with the bicep. They really don't. What they see is and this is very, very important for everybody to understand. What they see in Kyle Rittenhouse, they see in every single Trump voter.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very much a political, it shouldn't be, but it very much is a political matter. And they hate you if you vote that direction. And what they're seeing there is that they want to condemn him because they think he is conservative or on the right.
And he's not.
And so they paint and so they paint him as a white supremacist, and just the same as they paint all conservatives or all Trump supporters, right? And the funny thing you got to ask yourself is like, so when a person in a group does something, then it's everybody who's there, it's their responsibility. They're equally culpable and they're the bad guys. So for example, January 6th, right? Everybody who was there is
Everybody's fallback
is guilty of hitting the police officers and storming the Capitol, even though a very, very small percentage of those people actually did that. But the same doesn't get applied to everybody who's present during a riot, do they? It's peaceful protests then. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
This
is the other
if everybody who was present on January 6th is culpable and responsible and of the same moral character as the actions of the worst person there, then why is that not held also true for the BLM riots?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's so
they
funny
went out of
with
their
the
way
Kenosha.
to call them, peaceful protests, right?
Yeah. Well, with the Kenosha thing, there was a reporter and they're reporting and they're going, "Oh, it's mostly peaceful."
Mostly peaceful.
Meanwhile, there's
It's a meme.
it's fucking how can you possibly say that any part of what's
political.
going on there is peaceful?
It's whatever your viewpoint depends on what side you're on. Now, me personally, I believe in self-defense, not as an American right, but as a fundamental human right.
Human right.
It is a natural law. It is something that is unalienable and belongs to every human on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the right to take necessary action to preserve it. It's not just a right, it's a duty to act in self-defense.
It's like the rules of engagement.
Don't
fire unless fire upon.
It's even more fundamental than that. But it really just comes down to what side of the aisle you fall on and what your political persuasion is. Because if your political persuasion is one way, then everybody who voted, you listen to people talk about January 6th, like anybody who voted for Trump is guilty in their eyes of the actions of the worst person on January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
If you voted for Trump, you're as guilty as the person who allegedly hit the police officer with the fire extinguisher, right? But if you're BLM, not so much. You're a peaceful protester, and those are just a couple bad apples.
Yeah.
And it's like, I believe that people are responsible for their own actions, whether it's 1-6 or a BLM riot, or, because if you're in a BLM riot and you're not doing anything wrong, then you're not guilty of anything because you didn't do anything wrong, despite the fact that you were in a group of people doing things, awful. But if you weren't setting fire to things and you weren't throwing shit at cops and doing all that other stuff, then you weren't doing anything wrong. You just happened to be there.
That actually reminds me. Sorry, go on, finish. Keep doing.
And that's just a fundamental aspect. I mean, that's just justice. That's what it is. You're responsible for your actions. And when it comes to self-defense, it is an affirmative defense. You have a right to defend yourself. Kyle didn't shoot anybody that wasn't in the process of or directly attacking him at the time he shot him.
Yep.
And that's just the facts. And even without video, there's enough eyewitness testimony and forensic evidence that I don't think they would, even without video, they wouldn't have got him on Rosenbaum for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because the soot evidence, the stifling on his body, the fact that the reporter was right behind and testified, his testimony was very friendly to Kyle's, despite the fact that he was called by the prosecution. I think that was McGinnis who testified that.
Yep.
Like all that testimony, and you'd have to impugn every one of those witnesses. And, the prosecution obviously didn't do that. So even absent the video evidence, I would say that there wasn't, conviction is just likely not to happen. There's too much evidence, eyewitness and physical evidence to the contrary.
You look at the way like Kyle was talking in some of the videos before like all the attacks and everything happened, before all the events of why he was in court. Like there's a video of him standing there going, yeah, I'm here just to, help out and put out fires. I'm not, so he's not getting involved with anything. He's just wanting to be there for the property. Now, what's wrong with like even Grambo, the witness, the grandma witness? She was awesome, because she was armed and she was basically bringing up how it's just a deterrent. Like, we don't want to, like, they don't want to use their guns. They don't want to kill anyone. They don't even want to shoot anyone necessarily. But when you've got violent riots going on, what are you going to protect yourself with? And the rioters are allowed guns? And don't fucking tell me that there were no fucking other guns there. Every second person there had a fucking firearm.
I don't know about every second person, but the people that they brought in to testify, and the evidence certainly would indicate that the people protecting car source weren't the only people armed that evening. Yeah. And arming yourself and opening carrying, and that's another aspect of this thing, is that in some states, not everyone, Wisconsin, I live in Wisconsin, so I can attest to this. Like, it's an open carry state and a concealed carry. So you can open carry without permit, and you can conceal carry with permit. The act of carrying a rifle is not a provocation, and just carrying a rifle does not mean you intend to kill people. It means you intend to defend yourself. But like, if you want to go attacking people that are carrying guns, I guess good luck. That would be rather unwise, but the idea is that anybody who's open carrying is looking to hunt people or kill people. That's just patently absurd, because people open carry all the time everywhere, and they're not killing people left and right. They have no desire to kill people left and right. And the same goes for people who are concealed carry. Doesn't mean that they're intending to go murder people because they're carrying. They're having it in case they need to use it. It's much like saying, like, well, if you have homeowners insurance, it means you intend to burn your house down.
Yeah.
No, you get it just in case you need it.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's like car insurance or any form of insurance. You don't get it because you want to go and have a fucking car accident. You don't get life insurance because you want to go and kill yourself.
It's a precautionary measure, not a provocation. And and open carry is legal. Steph, I'm damn sure it's legal in your state as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's common, and having lived and grown up in Wisconsin, it is very normal to have a rifle.
Yep.
It's not an unusual. It is not an unusual.
I gotta get to America
or odd, exceptional thing.
Yes, you do.
I need to get over there.
I owned a rifle before I bought. Technically, I didn't own it. My parents did, but it was.
Do you reckon if I said at the border,
mine?
Like if I got to the border, got to customs in America, and they said, "Well, so why do you want to come to America?" I go, "Because I want a gun." Like, do you reckon they'd let me in?
I wouldn't. If I were your advisor, I would advise that you phrase it as something as be like, because I believe in the Constitution and the protections that it prevails, and I want to take advantage of those.
Yeah, that's
without specifically necessarily mentioning the Second Amendment. But
thank you, Mike Hill, as well, for becoming a member, a law master, which is fucking awesome. Thank you. I've got to I've got to get you into the group chat. So thank you, and I'll get you on the outro screen. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. But then you've got this one, of course, from Mark Ruffalo. We won't go too much more into it, but he's basically just ending with JoJo, like calling Joseph Rosenbaum JoJo.
Yeah,
it makes me sick. We come together to
pretty
mourn the
freaking tone deaf. But that just tells you how much they hate you. Because Kyle, they hate Kyle. But they don't hate Kyle because they know Kyle.
Thanksgiving.
They hate Kyle for the same reasons they would hate you.
Because he's white. He identifies as Latino, by the way.
Because you do not have the same political beliefs as he does, and to him, you are the enemy. Now I ask you, everybody, is this the type of person, are these the type of people you want to give your money to?
No.
They hate you. They're openly, flat out saying they hate your guts and that you should die.
Ooh.
I would love to ask, like, Mark Ruffalo, if you were put in that position, what would you do? Would you let the skateboard guy just smack you over the head a few times and take your gun and then that's it?
Well, I think anybody in Hollywood who has security is clearly guilty of provocation and is not entitled to self-defense.
That's a fair point.
Because they have a gun. If their security guards have weapons, then they're provoking. And therefore they are not entitled to self-defense.
It's crazy. I just wrapping this up, everything that I watched in that trial, everything that I heard, everything that I saw, it was not guilty on all charges, and they got it right. As far as I'm concerned, the jury got it right, and thank God they did. Thank God that didn't go through like some mistrial or something like that where the prosecution can try again, because it's honestly horrible. It's the worst. We're talking about a kid here too, and the rest of his life. And those people that want to say that he was fake tears, or, I mean, you watch when the verdict comes in and when you see him go down, he collapses.
It's before that, like when they're reading the third one.
Oh, yeah.
You can see him start to like shake his shoulders, and you can see him kind of going.
That's
like that.
real,
like
people.
You could
that
feel
is
that.
real. You cannot fake that.
Mm-hmm.
Take it from somebody that's been through, like, not through that specific thing, but through a hyperventilation, stressing to the point where you can't physically stand up, right?
And when
like,
he was
tries to stand back up again, and the girl that's helping him, the clerk that's helping him, like, he's like, no, I just can't do it, and she puts him back in his seat.
That was his attorney, but
that was one of his attorneys. Yeah.
That's one of his attorneys. But yeah, after he hugs his lawyer, his hands were shaking. They were shaking so much.
And the way he reacted on the stand, reacted on the stand, and LeBron James saying he must have eaten lemon heads before he went into the trial that day.
Yeah.
How disconnected can you be from reality to come to that conclusion after watching what you just watched?
Well, I think it's just Rich coming from the king of all floppers in basketball. Like the air pressure changes, and he acts like it was like the most egregious foul in NBA fucking history.
Mm-hmm. LeBron James,
and now he can't even handle a little trash talk from the
sidelines. I couldn't believe that. He's got to
go like full fucking Karen.
Yeah, I had to retweet it. I'm like, what? They're being mean to me. I mean, sticks and stones. Fucking hell. Get like, and he probably just did it because they were white. Because he is a racist. He's a clear racist.
I think he did it just because he's mentally and emotionally weak.
Yeah, he's soft.
He's a big guy. I wouldn't want to take a punch from the dude. And he's like fucking 6'8", 260. Dude, I mean, the dude's big, but like
I'm 5'9", 5'10".
He's a pussy.
Yeah, I'm 5'9", 5'10", and I reckon I'd get up in LeBron's face. He'd probably knock me down, but he'd be probably more scared in what he's doing. especially if I was to just unleash on him.
Yeah.
Rah, fucking.
Christopher Barker, you're absolutely right. He's been, like his lawyers have said, he's had PTSD since the event. Like when he was in the police station the night of, he was like, he's peeking his guts out.
Mm.
Like this is not a man who was just like fulfilled
In-
a mission that he premeditated ahead of time. Like he reacted to a situation that he unfortunately found himself into, and absolutely, I think that if he could do it all over again, he would stay at home.
I just saw the Christopher Barker's chat. He is haunted by the fact that he shot those people. He's been in therapy. He has PTSD from it. He can't sleep. And
you know, when you see him in a photo with Donald Trump with a smile on his face, I'm actually happy to see that. I'm actually more happy just to see a smile on his face.
You can be haunted by the actions that happened that night and regret having to take them, and also still be relieved that you're not going to prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like you can simultaneously have those two emotional opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't go
the
in
tremendous relief that like he's not going to rot in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And, like,
he didn't
this
go
huge
there
weight being
with
lifted
any
off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't go there with the intention of shooting people. He never wanted to shoot anybody. The guy wants to be a nurse. Like he didn't go there to shoot anybody. He went there to help people. And he was put in a position to take two people's lives.
Yeah, to take two people's
and then
lives,
wound another one. You know, so he was put in that position. He never wanted to do that. So that's why he had such an intense reaction when on the stand, when he had to recall everything, when he had to relive everything. That's why his reaction was so intense, because the kid has PTSD. He spent a month after everything happened throwing up in jail, in prison, because of what happened. Like
because remember he had a tremendous bail put on him from the get-go. And then this prosecutor tried to get the bail raised over petty reasons pre-trial as well. Like he had to, his family had to move because his address was doxxed. And for
his
their
mom
safety,
and his
they had to move. And then the DA was trying to say like, oh, he didn't give us the right kind of notice or whatever, so we should raise his bail by another couple $100,000 and or just revoke his bail and all these other things. I mean, they're playing hardball with him from the get-go.
But they got away with it all because of the political side of it.
Oh, yeah.
They had to make it a big thing.
District attorneys it's an elected position. It's inherently, any elected position is inherently political. Hell, any appointed position now is inherently political because it's a fight over who gets to appoint. Like everything is inherently political. But that's the nature of politics, right? That politics, policy, that's not necessarily in and of itself a bad thing. It's just, you know,
I agree with that, Lisa.
It's a really good thing that this trial was televised, because I think it really opened up a lot of people's eyes as far as how
Why a lot of people.
And it wasn't, not so much about necessarily the specifics of the case and whether or not he was guilty or innocent, but just how bad the reporting was.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a lot of people that changed their mind by watching the trial and going like, yeah, man, these facts are not what I was told. And I was told something completely different. It was spun a completely different way. And it just builds that like distrust of, you know, the way that news can be selectively manipulated, not just in what you say, but what you don't say, the facts you leave out, and then the outright lies you tell. I think a lot of people got a bit of an awakening over this whole thing.
Yep.
And truly how much spin and everything there was. And there's a couple things that like, I think a lot of people should keep in mind. Like I personally, and this is just me, but I'm personally never going to give to a GoFundMe campaign again. Because
after what GoFundMe did.
because GoFundMe threw them off their platform
Oh
for
yeah.
politics. Now, I didn't say I won't give to charities anymore. I'm just not giving. Like, if that platform takes so much as a penny, I'm not giving them money.
Yeah.
Put your money on a platform that doesn't do that.
Discriminate and shit.
So,
Well-
you know, it's not like I'm going to like demand refunds on the GoFundMes I have given, and I don't regret giving them. But going forward, I'm not going to support GoFundMes regardless of the cause, simply because I'm not giving money to that platform because of their behavior and the actions that they took. This is a person who was trying to raise, and it wasn't about giving money to a shooter or a mass shooter or everything. It was for a legal defense fund, and that everybody should have a right to. Even this piece of shit that ran over people in cars. If people want to give money for his self-defense claim, I really would question their wisdom. But that's something that you know, he has a right to raise money for his defense.
Absolutely. Just like anybody's got the right to fucking raise money for most things on there.
Right.
But speaking, good night, Mara. Say goodbye to Mara.
Good night.
Night, Mara.
So speaking of people getting like white pilled and shit, I think there's a lot to be said about Kathleen Kennedy at the moment. I think there's a fair few people out there in the fan world, in the fan base, that have realized a few things over the last few weeks. We had Cara Dune's little announcement that she's doing a little Joe Biden movie or Hunter Biden movie, which really goes against some of the shit that I've been hearing. Then we had a re-signing of Kathleen Kennedy's contract, which also goes against a lot of shit that's been said out there.
And the funny thing is that really hasn't been super confirmed yet either. It's still
that's right. But the goalpost moved, so I wonder if the goalpost moved because she did stay. I would laugh if, like, in a week's time she was actually fired, and then like that person, the people out there have been saying, "Oh, they're right," and now it goes the complete other way.
They have to shift again.
Yeah. But then this week we had Kathleen Kennedy saying some pretty interesting yet stupid shit about the sequel trilogy characters and where they're still thinking about those characters and still getting ready to do those stories. Have you got this article up, Greg?
Which one is it?
I put in the private
the Empire
chat.
one.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy talks emotional Obi-Wan reunion. Yeah.
All right. So, if you all remember, for a long time now, even after The Mandalorian and everything, there was a lot of talk about them decanonizing the sequel trilogy or retconning the sequel trilogy, possibly using the World Between Worlds or the Veil of the Force.
Despite the overwhelming evidence of the contrary.
Yes. And again, like I mentioned this in my video, the rumor mill for the last couple of weeks, there's been some horrible news for them. Again, I will just say, if you wish to continue believing and you wish to continue watching, that is completely your choice. But there's only a couple of things in this. It's pretty much 3 paragraphs. Go for it, Greg.
Okay. If there's one thing that got everybody talking on Disney Plus Day this year, it was the behind-the-scenes look at the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series, bringing none other than Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen back to the Star Wars universe as Jedi Master Obi-Wan and fallen Padaway / Sith Lord Anakin, or Vader as he prefers to be called at this point in the Skywalker saga timeline, respectively. Having starred together in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, the duo formed the central relationship at the heart of George Lucas's prequel trilogy, And, as the footage teased, the upcoming show will catch them 10 years down the line from that fateful Mustafar battle, hinting that a rematch between the two is in the cards. Speaking to Empire in the upcoming Book of Boba Fett issue, on sale Thursday, 25 November, and available to pre-order here, Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy opens up about the emotional reunion of McGregor and Christensen on set as they slip back into those iconic flowing robes. The thing that was most exciting was being on the set and watching the two of them get excited, said Kennedy. They hadn't seen one another in a long time. I was surprised at just how incredibly emotional it was for each of them to find themselves back in these roles and just realizing how important Star Wars was to each of them. It was the beginning of their careers. Not so much, but okay.
I made a mistake in my video. I said that Hayden Christensen had done Looper.
Jumper,
not Looper. And that was in 2008, so it was well after, actually. But
no,
I know
it was
that
the first big
that,
role for Hayden Christensen, but like Ewan McGregor already had some roles.
Yeah,
like, he wasn't like an A-lister at the time, but
he was definitely a known actor. Anyway,
yeah, he'd done some stuff.
That isn't really like, I mean, it doubles down again talking about the rematch. Now, I just want to quickly go to the rematch for a sec. There's been a lot of people saying it's not a rematch, right? It's a dream, or it's a meditative reliving of maybe Mustafar, but instead of Anakin still being Anakin, it's Vader in his suit. I've had people say out there, "Oh, it's completely justified. How does Obi-Wan know that he is more machine than man?" In the sequel, in the original trilogy, well, there is I can't remember exactly the name of it, but like the Star Wars Galaxy TV, like there is a Holo Network, or I can't remember it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Holonet.
Yeah. There's CNN in the Star Wars universe.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Vader isn't a Dark Lord of the Sith that's hiding. Everybody in the galaxy knows who Darth Vader is.
And the true sinister Master Sith isn't actually Palpatine. It's a guy who looks just like Brian Stelter, and he works for the Holonet news agency, and he's been behind the thing the whole time. Brian Stelter.
Right. Actually, I didn't even think of that, Christopher. Thank you for actually pointing that out, because when I looked at that still shot, the concept art, I thought that it's just a recreation of the Mustafar fight. And they're going to maybe do it in a dream sequence. Now, look, again, in regards to the lore and the canon of it all and the continuity of it all, if they fight physically, if Vader senses Obi-Wan in any way, shape, or form, if anyone other than Bail Organa knows that Obi-Wan's alive, and everybody who knows that he's alive on Tatooine, but they don't actually know who he is, other than maybe Owen. Like, or any circumstance where Obi-Wan makes any decision that takes away from protecting himself or Luke is destructive in this series. And the way that they're talking about it as a rematch, a dream sequence, I don't know how they're supposed to promote it if it is just a dream, but it's not if it's not a physical rematch and it's just a dream or something, cool. But
no, not cool. How dumb would that be?
No. I completely agree with you. I'm just saying, like, cool, you can do that, right? But what's the point? So hold on a second.
I know you did.
Let me put it to you like this. You could do a dream or a meditative sequence of Obi-Wan, let's say, sitting there meditating, and he goes into this dream state, and you could have flashes of the actual fight and him come out of that dream like really disturbed by the images that he saw. If you're going to have an entire episode, right, of a dream sequence of this fight that takes place between them, what is the purpose of it? Is it just so that we can see how disturbed Obi-Wan is? Because there's a much easier way to do it without having to do the entire dream and show us the entire dream. I mean, I don't know. I personally think this rematch, I think everyone's hoping, everyone out there that likes The Mandalorian is hoping that what they're going to do is it'll be a dream or a flash, a force vision of some sort that nothing will equate to it. No one's going to sense anyone. No one's going. It's just going to be. We'll just get to see how disturbed Obi-Wan is by what happened. Right? That's what people are hoping for. But I don't think Disney, Favreau, Filoni, Deborah Chow, Kennedy, any of them are that fucking smart to the point where they're not actually going to do a physical rematch.
Well, come on. I mean, even if they don't, the dream sequence is like lowbrow garbage tier soap opera shit.
Oh no, they're going to do a physical rematch. They're going to have a rematch.
Yeah, I don't believe
it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. Yeah.
And I'm going to do a video.
Either way, it's horrible, stupid, and bad for the story, but everybody's going to love it. It's going to be Luke. It's going to be Luke in chapter 16 all over again, and you know it.
I'm going to do a video on this. I know the poll ended last week, but I'm going to go through some of the comments on this poll and this poll. They both go over the fight and what people think. And I think it's pretty clear there that most people think that if these two crossblades again. Now, I don't want a Luke Skywalker moment. I just want to point this out. 80% of 642 people that voted and 92% of the 62 people that voted over here, there's probably a bit of crossover, right? I don't want the flashy lights to come out and then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's brilliant, right?
Well, that's what you're going to get. Sorry.
Well, you know, I talk about being consistent with our criticisms. This is gonna test a lot of people, I feel.
You're in the wrong group for that.
Anyway, let's go on to that last paragraph.
All right. Let me bring it back up. While Obi-Wan Kenobi is springing from the prequel trilogy and Rogue One prequel and/or bookends the original trilogy with the post-Return of the Jedi Mandoverse shows, it sounds like there may be more stories to come involving the crew introduced in the most recent sequel trilogy, which wrapped up on the big screen with The Rise of Skywalker in 2019. Quote, certainly those are not characters we're going to forget, end quote, teased Kennedy, of the third generation of Star Wars heroes. They will live on, and those are conversations that are going on with the creative team as well. The Force is as strong as ever.
Your thoughts before I go off?
Well, duh. I like, for me, honestly, like the evidence has been there and it's been very clear in all Disney productions since leading up to and following The Rise of Skywalker. They are not going to retcon it.
No.
They're going to tie directly to it. You've seen the evidence in like, you just watch The Mandalorian. It's there. If you listen to Jon Favreau and Filoni talk, they've said it. It's going to happen. There's no intentions at all to retcon this thing or undo the sequel trilogy. And so if they're not going to do that, then of course they're going to follow up with it.
But hang on a second. That breaks the Civil War narrative. Stop it.
Oh, well, maybe there just never was one.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. There never was one.
You evil piece of shit.
There never was one. The whole Civil War thing was just a loophole for people to say boycott Disney and yet not boycott Disney.
Yeah, don't boycott The Mandalorian because that's John and Dave, but boycott the Kennedy Star Wars stuff, which it is all Kennedy Star Wars stuff. It is the Kennedy-verse, ladies and gentlemen. Steph, I know you really don't care about Star Wars, but just your thoughts on this. Any thoughts, anything?
Star Wars is dead. Like,
cool.
It's dead. They're going to, all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. That's what we would take for the longest time. Even with The Mandalorian, it leads to the sequel trilogy. They're not going to retcon anything. KK has her hands all up in there. You know, Favreau's not going to save. Not going to save anything. Like nothing. Nothing's going to be saved.
No,
This is
all
Star
the
Wars
material.
now. This is Star Wars now. Just accept it. Nothing. They don't care about the lore. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about you. They care about making money, and that's all.
And guess
That
what?
really,
The
they don't care how
Mandalorian.
many times they have to retcon whatever they have to retcon. They're gonna do it. They're
The
gonna cut your
Mandalorian
favorite
made a money
characters.
out
They're
of
gonna do everything.
and the Mandalorian made a money out of Star Wars again
Yeah,
and saved Kathleen Kennedy's job to some degree.
I don't
I
think
feel.
I don't think it saved it. I don't think that she was ever at risk.
Really gone.
No, I don't think she was
No
ever
one's
at
ever
risk.
really gone.
I don't think she was ever at risk.
Well, let me just say,
I think
The
if she
fact-
was, then the Mandalorian saved it. If she wasn't, then she just wasn't.
the three things that I mentioned. Whoa, why did I put up two fingers? The three things that I mentioned. Gina Carano. There was all the rumors about Gina Carano coming back. It's already signed. Sources confirm. There was the re-signing of Kathleen Kennedy's contract. Again, the goalpost changed on that one when the narrative started changing. And the actual real rumors started coming out that went against the actual other rumors. And then we've had this, which doesn't only go against the retconning of the sequel trilogy and all of that sort of thing, but everything, especially those last two things, Kathleen Kennedy's re-signing and the fact that she's come out of her little hole to tell us all that the sequels are still alive and well, goes completely against the Civil War rumor. And
more importantly, it goes against the new narrative that she's gonna be there, but she doesn't have control.
And there's that one as well. Yeah. So see, this is the thing. The evolution of these rumors change with the little bits of information that we start getting, and the goalposts start to move. And that's why when we get a re-sign, we can still have, let me say, hashtag Doomcock was right. Because a couple of I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say a couple of months ago he started reporting that it looks like she might be staying. Well, how does that go with your fucking other narratives on all your other fucking things? And look, I know I pick out Doomcock a lot. Yeah, I know I pick out Doomcock a lot, but the reason why I do is because people actually believe Doomcock. Nobody believes Mike Zero. I can say Mike Zero's put out the same videos that Doomcock has. Maybe Mike Zero is Doomcock's source. Who fucking knows?
No, I'm pretty sure Doomcock's source is
He's asshole.
4chan.
I just don't know. And then if you want, like I said, if you want to watch and you want to believe it, I mean, I can sit there and I can watch a Mike Zero video and I can laugh. I sit there and I watch a Doomcock video. I don't laugh because he's being dead serious about it. And not that Mike Zero isn't, but he's being dead serious about it. But people actually legitimately believe. It's like believing the mainstream media right now. Right? About the Rittenhouse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the evidence in front of you. This is what pisses me off when I talk about things like the hyperspace. Everybody laughs at me when I continue talking about these things. It's because, like I said, I can criticize this shit for the sequels and everybody praises me. I can say how they should have done the EU and it would have been better. People praise me or praise OG Star Wars or anyone else out there that thinks the same way that I do, the echo chamber that I'm in. But to believe any of this stuff when the evidence is there, I talk about the shit in The Mandalorian. It doesn't matter because my Luke Skywalker. Oh my butt, Luke. They gave us the Luke we wanted. That wasn't the Luke I fucking wanted. I didn't want this CGI piece of shit looking fucking thing, right, that says two words that isn't Luke Skywalker. Luke would have interrogated that entire ship apart, that entire bridge. Who the fuck is that guy? What the fuck am I doing on an Imperial fucking ship that's been taken over by a couple of Mandalorians and a fucking I don't even know how to describe Gina Carano's character. I love Gina Carano, but the character of Cara Dune is fucked up. If you actually watch season 1 and then you watch season 2 and you just look at her character, there is no continuity. She goes from being scared of being arrested by the New Republic to being a warden of the New Republic. How does that add up to anyone? But yet, it's saved because we got Luke Skywalker. That final episode of The Mandalorian was the wokest piece of garbage writing I've ever fucking seen. Garbage writing, and it was woke as fuck. It's the wokest episode out of the entire season. Other than The Mandalorian following fucking Bo-Katan through the ship and being shocked by how badass she is. Fuck. If you want to fucking enjoy it, you're going to keep getting more of it. You got 3 more years of Kathleen Kennedy. You should be applauding it. If you like The Mandalorian, you should be applauding it. Because guess what? You're getting the Book of Boba Fett. Guess what? You're getting the Kenobi series. Guess what? You're getting a rewrite and a remake of fucking KOTOR. Not only the game, but you're going to get a movie as well that's probably going to be a female Revan or something. You know, when Marshall Lucas came out and said that they don't get it, they don't get the magic of Star Wars. You think anything's changed since they made fucking The Force Awakens? Baby Yoda. Man, the biggest piece of nostalgia bait I've ever seen, basically just using Yoda's thing and making it cute. And then having babysitters in space, and then all the stories that we get fucking here. Thanks, Lethal, you fuck. There's another fucking baby from space. You know, babysitters in space. That's all it fucking is. Anyway, I think I've had my rant on this. It pisses me off because, again, people just believe the shit and they refuse to see past it. I've said before, they can like it if they want to like it. They can believe the rumors. They can believe whatever they want to believe, right? But don't come by here and tell me that I'm fucking wrong or I'm an EU elitist when you used to sit here and go, yeah, you're right, Ryan, when it comes to the sequels.
Yeah, just walk away, Ryno. Walk away. Let them have the Star Wars they deserve. The Star Wars brought to you by Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, I've walked away. I'm not going to stop fucking watching it and reviewing the shit. I'm not gonna stop telling them how bad it is. I'm not gonna stop rubbing it in their face when they sit there and go, "Oh, Luke Skywalker, oh, Boba Fett, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader rematch." I'll be sitting there going, "You're a fucking idiot."
Okay.
Anyway, that is that. All right. We've gone through all of those. There's one more thing to go through, and I know that Greg isn't going to... I see that, Lyndon. I'm going to check it. Hold on a sec. While I'm actually checking what Lyndon has sent me, Steph. So we're going to talk a little bit about Hawkeye. We're going to review... Are you muted? Yeah, you are.
I am. Yeah, my dogs were barking.
So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Hawkeye. Again, Greg has no interest in this. He's probably going to mute his mic and just sit there quietly. I don't know. You can jump in, of course, if you want. But I know he hates the fact that I'm even watching it. But again, I'm throwing my sister under the bus. She's not making me watch it, but because she's interested in watching it, I'm going to watch it just so that I can tell her how bad it is.
You're using your sister loophole to watch a show that.
And it's her Disney Plus, so I'm not. Yeah, it's all good. So while I'm looking for that, what do you think? Just your general thoughts, I guess, Steph.
It was sad.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to put it.
It was sad. I admittedly love Hawkeye, and I really love Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye. And this was probably, I don't know, maybe the only Disney Plus show that I was looking forward to.
Same with my sister.
I watched the trailer. Didn't really like the trailer, so I was kind of like keeping my expectations low. But I felt bad for Jeremy Renner. I felt bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
I really did.
Okay, Dr. Coffinell obviously doesn't like Jeremy.
I know.
like Jeremy
a lot
Renner.
of people don't like Jeremy Renner.
I actually like
totally
him.
fine.
I think he's a good actor.
I think he's a good actor. That's why I like him. I think he's a terrific actor. And
personality-wise, I don't know the guy. I don't really follow him or anything like that, but I just like him as an actor. I think he's a good actor. Sorry, Steph.
I think personality-wise, he's a serious person, so it makes him out to be like an asshole. Which, yeah, I can totally see that. But I don't mind him. And this was the only thing I was looking forward to. I didn't like that they were bringing in Kate Bishop, but I was like, all right, well, let's see what they do. The beginning of it was kind of like, that's interesting, because it shows Kate as a child looking out. It was during the very first Avengers movie, the New York attack, and she sees Hawkeye. And she gets inspiration from Hawkeye. She and I was like, oh my God, he's not her age. He doesn't look like her. He's not a woman, but yet she finds him to be inspirational and she looks up to him. Whoa, So I was like, all right, looks good. But I was just like, this show is geared towards a young female audience and using, OG Jeremy Renner to hook them in. And I guess using Kate Bishop to hook them in, and kind of like Jeremy Renner's just there because he's the OG Hawkeye. So let's just pass that torch. Mm-hmm. I would be more interested in, during this, she they're having this black, what is it called? Like a black book auction or a black something auction?
Yeah, like underground auction.
An underground auction. Yeah. And I don't know how. Black market auction. Thank you. And I don't know how, but Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye both lost his, I took medicine and one of the side effects is yawning. Jeremy Renner both misplaced. I want to say he misplaced it.
His Ronin suit and his sword.
His Ronin suit and his Ronin sword. Although they did say that like the Avengers Tower or something was like looted or some shit like that. But why would he keep it there? I don't know. I just want to give my general thoughts before we sort of start picking it apart. Sorry, right. Go on. Finish what you were going to say though. General thoughts. The show is sad. It makes me feel bad for the guy. I could see why he's just like, fuck it, replace me. Because I want to spend time with my daughter. I can see why he said that. The show's no good, and he probably knows that. Well, I think with the Black Widow movie and this show, they're missing big opportunities. For the Black Widow thing, I feel like they missed the opportunity for the Budapest story, right? And they could have brought some of that, at least maybe into this series somehow, and had some sort of connection there or something like that. I would have much rather see either
the timeline of when he was Ronin.
When he was
how
Ronin.
good would that have been as a Hawkeye series? This is the thing. We talk about these individual series, right? Or the individual movies, like the Iron Man movie. It revolves around Iron Man, right? It tells the story of Iron Man. This is telling the story of at the end of fucking Hawkeye's story, and it's not even really Hawkeye's story, and it feels really stupid. There's so many, for me, there was so many stupid scenes where I was like, what? I mean, come on. You know, look, I'll see if I can think of some. I mean, even just the opening scene, the bell tower, you know, the bell, I thought that was pathetically ridiculous. Really? That's going to bring down that. I thought that rope was what they swing from the bottom to fucking, it was so, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, are you serious? And then like, as we're sort of starting to get through it, I'm like, what, there's no consequences to the bell tower? And then the mum's like, oh, I've got to pay for a bell tower. It's like,
And
that's right,
wait,
she's
no,
rich.
she took away her credit card.
Oh, she took away her credit cards. Poor girl. Look, this is not the Hawkeye. This is not a Hawkeye series. Yeah, Hawkeye's in it. It might be the evolution of the tail end of Hawkeye's career. I found it really funny how Hawkeye goes from being in his hotel room, right, with his kids and seeing her, Kate Bishop, in the Ronin suit to her being trapped in a car by the Russians and him just showing up.
And he shows up.
How the fuck does he know? Did he call Tony? Oh no, he's fucking dead.
Mm-hmm.
Did he call Pepper and go, hey Pepper, I need you to track down this person that's in my Ronin fucking thing, and got it to him like that? Like, the edits in this were horrible.
Yeah. The
Like,
only thing that I can guess, and I'm just guessing, because I had the same thing. I was like, how did he find her? How do you find her? Is that he later on says that like he made enemies of, you know, the tracksuit people while he was Ronin, so he knew where to find them. But
they found her.
But they found her. Yeah,
they weren't where they are. They were where she is.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can assume is that he was tailing them, but he was just in the hotel room with his kids. So I'm kind of like, where did he show up?
I was
like, does the suit have like a tracking device or something on it? Like,
that is one of the worst cuts, one of the worst edits, or one
tracking
of the
fobs.
Yeah,
they have tracking fobs.
Get
right
out
now.
here!
In the MCU, they're tying it all together. You nailed it. Tracking fobs.
Tracking fobs.
But that I didn't like. I would have. I'm with you. I would have liked, instead of having a show centered around this MacGuffin, his suit. We need to find the suit. Let's get a show about Ronin, about his time as Ronin. You know, just like we would have wanted the Black Widow movie to be, you know, the time where he what is that? Where they go? Budapest. The Budapest, right? Let's have that. Nah. Let's get a woman-powered, awful Black Widow movie about fucking Me Too and shit. And with this one, it's like, let's have a movie about or a show about Ronin. Nah, let's not do that. We'll have his outfit in there and people will cosplay at him. And don't get me fucking started about LARPer. Do you remember that LARPing? Oh my God.
We'll get to that because that's in the second episode. But let me let me point one thing out that indicates really bad writing to me, right? And it should to a lot of people, I feel, is they almost break the fourth wall, right? To talk directly to the audience, but they do it they don't even do it subtly. It's so overtly out there, the way they do it, that it takes you so out of it. Right? Like when she takes the dog back to her place, right? She's talking to the dog. She's talking to the audience through the dog. Let me put it to you that way, right? There's another scene where, when they're going to look for the watch, the wall explodes, right? At this underground auction, the black market auction, right? And the wall explodes out. And instead of these robbers getting together before they blow the wall out and going, all right, once we're in there, we've got 90 seconds to find the watch, right? What happens is they blow the wall out, they go in there and they're like, we got to find the watch. What? We got to find the watch. Oh, we got 90 seconds. We've only got 90 seconds to find the watch. Like, okay, just announce to everybody that's still alive in that room exactly what it is that you're looking for, right? It's the worst writing I have ever seen. It's worse than The Mandalorian. It is the worst. Like, I don't even care. Like, I've seen people in the chat here, they're talking about the comics and stuff like this. I don't know the characters enough in the comics to comment on any of that. I'm just talking about it from a pure entertainment, show, plot, all of that stuff, writing, motivations, everything. The opening scene where we see Kate Kane, it's in New York, right? And the what's they called are attacking, right? Loki's let them in. And they're attacking New York. And her house has been under attack. And she's like running around screaming, Mom, Mom. They're in their house. They've said that they're going down to the office. And she's running around the house like she doesn't know where she is. Right? She's running around the house like she doesn't know where she is. She doesn't really seem that scared. Right, for a 9-year-old girl.
She did seem scared. Did you say Kate Kane?
Sorry, I meant to say Kate Bishop.
She did seem scared. What I thought was kind of dumb was, her just the whole side of the wall getting smashed, and then she's just like standing there, nothing really happens.
She's standing there.
Standing there looking.
She's not even standing there horrified or anything. She's just standing there looking, and then she sees Hawkeye on the top of the building.
She goes from being terrified to being like inspired, like, oh, a hero.
And then at her dad's funeral, it's like, oh, I need to protect us. She's fucking a little kid. And she's like, the mum's like, I'll do anything. What do I do? And she's like, I need a bow and arrow.
I need a bow and arrow.
And it's like, oh my, like it is the worst writing I have ever seen in a show, full stop.
Yeah. The MCU, Disney Plus MCU is the CW.
It's worse. It sounds worse than the CW.
It's what it is. And it's really bad. So she's just kind of like, I need a bow and arrow. And then, cut to her in college. And she knocks down the bell tower, and then she finds the Ronin suit. And then she kicks a bunch of people's asses, like little skinny her kicking huge guys' asses, just kicking them to the ground.
Quickly talk about the Rogers fucking
oh my god, yeah, that
comes
after that though. Yeah, so then we go to Hawkeye, and he has his children. He's in New York, and they're at the Avengers play. They're at the Avengers musical, and they're going through that, and Hawkeye gets I don't want to call it PTSD, but it's what it looks like from seeing Natasha, or the actress that's playing Natasha, and he's just like, and everything just goes like silent, and then his daughter's like, you have your hearing aid off? He has a hearing aid. He doesn't know when he got it, because they ask him, when did you get that? What happened to your ear? And it flashes back to like 3 different times that he could have possibly gotten a hearing aid.
No, it goes back to like all the different explosions and stuff that he's been through, and that's why he's lost his hearing. It's a reasonable explanation.
Well, no,
it is a reasonable
he actually
explanation.
tells her. She goes, "What happened?" He goes, or which one? Like, which one? And he's like, he thinks about it, and he goes through like the time he broke through the wall, one time in, I guess, the second Avengers, and then the third Avenger. He's just like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's like, really? You don't know which one?
Wouldn't they all be deaf then? Like all the Avengers?
Probably.
No, but a lot of the Avengers have actual superpowers. He's just, human.
Tony Stark? Oh, wait, he's in his...
the first episode...
But...
The first episode, in a 45-minute episode, we probably get about 5 minutes of Jeremy Renner. 5 to 10 minutes of Jeremy Renner in a 45-minute episode. It is basically trying to tell Kate Bishop's story in an episode of television. We when we first started getting the MCU and we've got Hawkeye and we're sitting here going, guy with a bow and arrow, who really cares about him? By the end of Endgame, yeah, we've got empathy, we've got feelings for this character. He's got kids, he's got a family. He ended up becoming Ronin because of the snap, and all of these things happen. We've now connected to this character, right? But that's been an evolution of this character over the 10 years, even though none of it was really about him specifically, right? Other than maybe when we get to see him go back home to the safe house. But he's like, don't get me wrong, he's very well known in the streets of this series as well. Everybody knows who he is. And, thank you.
That's another thing that I really had a problem with, is how people know that he's Hawkeye, okay? And he has his, they're eating at dinner. They're eating out at dinner, right? With his family. And they come and he's just like, dinner's on us. Thank you, Hawkeye. Thank you. No, dinner's on us. He has his family there.
But
and
not only that, he
why
goes
on earth do you have your I thought your family was a huge secret.
What about the urinals?
Oh God, that part was so.
They go into the toilet.
I kind of blocked
he goes
that
into
out.
the toilet.
But his family being out and about and he obviously made enemies as Hawkeye. People know that he's Hawkeye. Why would he bring his family out? He's like, this is something that Nick Fury helped me put together on that farm, his safe house. I really hope that you guys keep this quiet. He doesn't want anybody to know that he has a family. But yet now
enemies.
He's just out with his family.
Yep.
It's like, really?
Oh, but we're after the blip now. We've come back. Everybody's 5 years. And does that even get referenced? That's the other thing too. It does barely. I don't even think it actually gets referenced once.
It kind of does, because remember when he's at the urinals, it said Thanos was right.
Oh yeah. And he's kind of like this. And then at the urinals, the guy walks over. No one else is in there, and there's 10 urinals that way. Stands right next to him. It's creepy weird. And he's like, any chance we could get a selfie? My kids would love it. And he's like, now's not really the best time. And it's a little inappropriate because they're in the fucking toilet. And he's washing his hands. And the guy literally is standing behind him like a creep going, is now a good time? It's fucking weird, man. Is the pacing of it.
That sounds like standard operating MCU humor to me.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I was actually honestly hoping for something at least decent. This wasn't even close to decent. The second episode, he's basically sent his kids back to his wife, and he's hanging around to fix all the problems that Kate Bishop has created, dressing up in his Ronin outfit. And who knows?
Can I ask, having not seen it, just a quick question: why does everybody know that he was Ronin? Why does he feel like
no?
Just because somebody's dressing up as him, that it's his responsibility to do all this?
Okay, because he's got enemies. Because he's as Ronin, nobody knows who the Ronin is or was.
Right, but if he's abandoned that character and is no longer doing that character anymore, then why does he care?
Because he's worried about... Because...
he's worried about her?
No, he is worried about him and any connection that could come back to him as Ronin from being Ronin. So he's trying to cover the tracks of what happened. Now, let me put it to you this way. This episode, again...
How would it connect back to him if it's somebody... So if they catch Ronin, this other person is Ronin, in the suit, why would anybody then think that she's not the real Ronin?
They might not, but that then, yeah. So he sort of does care.
Why would it connect back to him in any way?
I don't know. I think he just hates that part of him. He hates that part, and he doesn't want to see that out there. He doesn't want to see the Ronin out there. But let me give it to you this way. There's all this stuff on the news about the Ronin outfit. Ronan's made an appearance now, all of a sudden out of nowhere, right? The Russians show up and set Kate Bishop's house on fire, and the suit actually gets left there, right? Because they can't get to it because of the fires. So they get out of there.
Does this suit have any like specific properties, or is it just literally just a costume?
No, it's just like a ninja.
It's
costume.
like it's a jacket.
Yeah. It's
So literally
like
anybody
a vest
could
with a
make
hood.
Anybody could make a Ronin costume.
Yeah.
by
Well,
looking
he
at a
even
picture of it
searches
and
that. He even
cosplay?
searches that to see if he can find where it is. And there are people cosplaying as Ronin, like in the MCU universe, right? But this is where it gets really stupid for me. The LARPing stuff. So they've got the suit. The guy's seen the suit on the TV. It's been all over the news that Ronan's made an appearance and everything. And this firefighter just happens to decide to steal the Ronin suit and take it to his little LARPing fucking competition. And then Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, and they all know that he's Hawkeye, shows up because he wants the suit. No questions are, oh, were you Ronin? Or why do you care so much about the suit? You're Hawkeye. No, none of that.
I
none
know.
of that, right? There's nothing like that. It's you can either let me pretend to kill you and and give me the suit, or I can really punch you. You really get hurt, and I take the suit. And the guy makes a deal with him to say, you got to let me kill you because you're Hawkeye, and you've got to make it legit, and I'll give you the suit back, right? It is honestly, Greg was asking me before we went live, he's like, so you're not going to keep watching it? And I'm like, I really don't want to. Like, I almost want, like, I'll see what my sister says. I'll see if she likes it.
For fuck's sake.
I don't see how anyone that likes the art of television, that likes the art of movies, that likes the art of storytelling, that likes the art of plots and motivations within characters and things like that, can like this show. I just don't know. In a general sense, not even Marvel, not even Star Wars, just in a general sense of entertainment storytelling in this format, my God. I saw somebody mention earlier, I think it was Christopher, I'm not too sure. They said, it wouldn't surprise me, or something along the lines of, wouldn't surprise me if it was the mum that actually ended up killing the dad for real. Like, you know, he didn't die because of the actual attack. He died because the mum killed him. Which, yeah, you know, there's some threads in there that could be good, but with everything else that's around it, again, I would have just rather seen a fucking Ronin show.
Yeah.
It would have been so much better, so much simpler, so much more badass. But no, we've got this mystery box fucking storytelling. What's the relevance of the watch? You've got the swordsman that is this ultimate swordsman that takes on Kate Bishop because Kate Bishop is really suspicious, but the swordsman's going to marry Kate Bishop's mum, right? And he's the evil guy. Man, this show is stupid. Stupid. I got nothing more. Steph, wrap it up. Anything?
So there's an evil stepdad?
The swordsman, yeah, he's going to be Kate Bishop's stepdad, basically, yes.
Well, okay, so we've already moved on to the second episode.
Yeah, and you've got Echo that shows up at the end of the second episode, and she's going to be some badass that just tells the guy to go away.
Yeah,
Get away
so
from
I was
me.
like,
ew.
Yeah, like the second episode is even worse than the first.
Yep.
So lost.
Hawkeye LARPs. That made me so sad to see him LARP because the suit got stolen by a firefighter at a house, and he's a LARPer, and he went to go dressed as Ronin,
And his dream is to win the costume contest.
No,
That's
no.
his-
What happens?
No,
Because
he-
he goes
no,
there. He
it's
goes there and
not-
he just
it's
goes, I
not-
want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. And this chick, this Karen's there going, no, you're not allowed to walk 10 feet
Yeah,
that
it's
way
not his dream
unless
is not
you're
to hold on,
participating in the LARPing.
His dream is not to win the costume contest. It's that he's constantly getting made fun of because his LARP outfits are dumb. So he's like, "Yo, dude, look, I found this awesome outfit. This is it. I'm gonna be awesome at the LARPing place or wherever
I'm gonna
you
be
go."
the king of the LARPing community. Yay!
Yeah. So and what's sad is that like every hindrance that Hawkeye comes across in his show,
Show it to you.
they're all women.
Yeah,
The two women,
that's true. Actually,
they're
I
all
didn't even
women.
think about that.
Every single roadblock that he encounters is a woman, and it's funny because when he gets captured by the sweatpants gang or whoever, I'm like, okay, but they're idiots, right? Their leader is a woman, so it's gonna be another woman. It's just like, oh my gosh. And even his daughter, you know, he has to hurry up because he promised his daughter that he would be home by Christmas. So it's just, oh my god, this part was so it made me so sad. It made me so sad. And yeah, all he wants to do is just talk to this one dude, and he has to like give them his credit card information because if he doesn't turn whatever he's wearing in, they charge him for it. So he has to like, the dude is like, please, let me kill you. Let me kill you. And he's just like, all right, cool. You can kill me. I mean,
He's like, yes, I'm gonna go, and she just won't let him pass.
yeah, she won't
But
let
to
him
go and
pass.
talk to him, who's like over here.
You
it's
have
like,
to do it.
Oh my god! And then yeah, he's
Go to where he actually participates in it, in the fight right here.
Yeah, here.
God, this is sad. It's just so
I
sad.
gotta pause for a sec. Okay.
Look at it.
This guy dying. Shut up, Eric. We're watching stupid LARPing.
Like serious, this right here. This
he's
is
like
Jeremy
completely
Renner.
bored.
Yeah.
This is attitude about the show. You can see his attitude for the show here. Like you can see it.
He just kills off. And then he wants the suit. And it's just, I don't know. It's fucking cringe.
Yeah.
It
And
honestly,
you see, it's not even like
hilarious.
it's just.
This is the swordsman. Hold on. There's the swordsman.
Look at, I mean, come on, can you get more evil? He all he has to do is just be twirling his twirl. And this girl is like breaking and entering. She's an expert. She's an expert with a bow and arrow because she's won so many competitions, not only with bow and arrow, but she's also a fencer and she's also a swordsmith and she's a black belt. I mean,
and could they make her look any less attractive in every single outfit that they put her in?
Oh my God,
her mom actually specifically says to her after she busts the bell tower, "Can you no, not that bit. I'm talking about," she goes, "The best thing that you could do is go and put on the red dress up in your room and join me at this charity ball thing." So she shows up in a black tuxedo and looks like a waiter that everybody keeps saying, like, let me show you. Let me show you. I'll fucking find it.
So frumpy. There, look, frumpy. She looks frumpy.
Everything.
She's frumpy.
Oh,
look,
no, we've gone
frumpy.
past it.
Hold on, show right there. Look,
this frumpy. One, this outfit.
Frumpy. She's frumpy.
That's her mum. Like in every outfit that they've put her in, she looks.
And who is she? Is she?
She looks like an old woman.
That's Kate Bishop.
That's Kate Bishop. She looks like an old woman. Like nothing. I don't want to take care of myself.
Like I'm supposed to know.
Oh, sorry.
It's terrible. The show is sad.
Horrible.
The show is terrible. Like all of a sudden, this street dog knows how to walk on a leash, and he is housebroken. Like
Oh, this conversation there's another outfit where they just make her look completely.
Look at her. Look at her how frumpy she is. And then they're in that shop,
Oh,
right? They're in
These
that
guys
shop.
are stupid.
God, they're idiots. They're idiots. These men are idiots. They're in that shop and he's just like getting stuff and she's like, oh my God, are we going to put stuff together? Blah, blah. She's like so into it. Like, oh my God, this is going to be so awesome. Blah, blah,
And then
blah,
she's
blah.
like, oh, that's disappointing because he's like not as
he's
excited
just like, we're
as
just
she
going to get
is.
stuff for your wounds, to clean your wounds. She's
Okay,
like, nah.
so there's also the bit where he says to her, this is the last time we're probably going to see each other. And he goes, take my number just in case. And then she goes off on a texting rampage
Oh
and a
my
calling
God.
rampage.
Yeah, he was like, he
And
goes,
then-
take my number just in case. If you call me too much or whatever, if you call me for no reason, text me I'm going to block you. Okay.
Anyway.
And then what does she do? She texts him three
texts him
messages.
twice
Do you
or
miss
three
me?
messages.
Don't
Yep.
pretend like you're talking to your friends. You know you don't have any. It's like, what are you doing?
Yep. And then she calls him twice. He doesn't answer the first time and she leaves a stupid message. And then she's saying to herself, do I call straight back? Yeah, I call straight back. And it's so stupid.
Yeah. And
then she calls straight back. And then one of the Russian guys answers and says, oh, he's not here or whatever. And she's like, oh, he's in trouble. The next moment that we see her, she has magically found him because she's got triangular fucking detection fucking app on her phone. On her phone, she's got a fucking triangularization fucking app that finds fucking people.
Yeah,
she goes and
not only
fucking
that, but
tracks
she
him
can
down.
She can find Hawkeye's
Sounds like a
phone.
tracking fob to me.
A super spy.
Yeah, it does. It's a tracking fob.
Super spy. She can find this super spy's phone. Like he doesn't have a non-traceable phone. It's ridiculous.
Not only that, she goes to help him, and she falls through the ceiling and lands at his feet. So now they're both fucking caught.
Hold on. Before that, we get a nice little callback to when we first meet Natasha. You remember that? They pan from behind him when we first meet her, and she's like tied with her arms behind her back, and then someone calls her, and she's like, "I'm kind of working right now. I'm working right now." Remember? Yep. It's that view that we see her.
Yeah.
That we see her from, and his wife even tells him like, I'm gonna do like a bait release or whatever, catch and release. And so she goes, that's a total Natasha move. So what do we get the next scene? That scene from what movie? From the first Avengers, where it pans from the back and he's tied up, and then he shows him like, I'm not really tied up, it's just a whatever. And it's just horrible. And then it goes, that's kind of badass, right? Well, we can't have that. We can't have him look badass. No. Kate falls from the sky. And where do they tie them to? They tie them to like these children's riding
the rocking
toys.
horses that you put a coin in and it just moves back and forward for a little bit.
Children's
it's like one
riding
of those
toys.
things.
Oh.
And man, it is like I hate having to say if you enjoy this shit, you can enjoy it. But in my eyes, it's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I have never seen a bigger piece of garbage writing storytelling in my life. I don't care that it doesn't haven't gone back to the Ronin days. I do care that it doesn't really tell a story about Hawkeye. It's giving Hawkeye a problem that he's now having to solve because of this fucking frumpy idiot that they fucking decided to make the show about. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage.
Horrible.
Whoever's writing this should be ashamed of themselves and shouldn't be calling themselves a writer. I know, and a lot of you guys will know, I have my issues with reading and shit like that. I could still fucking tell a better fucking story and put together a better script than this. In the same setting. I could do this exact story that they want to do here and do it way fucking better. Way better. Every second scene for me was fucking, this is cringe as fuck.
It was so bad. It's garbage. And it made me, I felt horrible because I was like, this is the only this is the only show that I'm looking forward to. Please be good.
Yeah.
No. This and Loki. And I should have learned from Loki because of what they did to Loki. I should have known that they were going to do this. It's so bad. It's
Yeah.
so bad. And I'm just kind of like, they're already headed there with Doctor Strange. They're gonna cuck him in the Spider-Man movie. They are just the previews. He's doing things that are out of character for him. And same is going to be done with Thor, because we're getting Lady Thor. All of the and what kills me, what pisses me off is that when the second episode started, yeah, I want to fight you, Lyndon. I'll fight you, bro. What pissed me off is like at the beginning of every episode, we have that Marvel opening, right? Where you see all of the OG Avengers doing their thing, and then you see Tony snap. And I'm just like, it's never going to be that again. They need to just make their new opening already. Stop it.
Yep.
Make
Put
your
all the
new
women.
opening with all of your new
Get all your
eternal
women in the
people.
opening.
Just do it. Stop it. Because that seeing that opening, the Marvel opening with all of their characters, and then it leading to this show, it just pissed me off.
They are basically, this is how I see this. A simple way of putting this series is that they are using Jeremy Renner and the character of Hawkeye to sell you something else.
They are. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the something else is horribly put together. Horribly done. Just horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrible. It's terrible. Kate, the actress, the character of Kate Bishop, she's not even likable. I can watch The Hunger Games, and as bad as those movies might be, or even Twilight, I'm just kind of like, oh God. But at least they have some characters in there that are likable. She's not likable. She's not likable. She's annoying as fuck. She's annoying. Yeah. She's that friend that texts you over and over and over and over until you pick up your phone.
Yep.
She's annoying.
And she literally did that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm hoping to hear back from my sister. I wonder if she actually did get back to me already. Not yet.
Get your balls out of her purse and stop watching the show.
I'll see. But look, again, if you're enjoying it, good for you. I don't know how anyone can actually enjoy this as just a story that's being told. Not a Marvel story, not a Hawkeye story, just a simple story being told. And
oh, you're right, Lyndon. They do reference Katniss. Yeah, this little kid is like,
they do actually.
Mommy, a hero. This scene is like what the MCU is now, right? Mommy, there's a hero, and Hawkeye thinks that the kid is talking about him, and he turns around. The kid passes him and goes to like Katniss, and she's standing next to who? Thor? I can't remember. Like someone who's dressed up.
So they're cosplaying in the street.
Cosplaying in the street, like in New York. It's like that's just it's so bad. Oh my God.
I'm see if I can find it.
It's quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking for it, seeing if I can find that bit, but I think I went past it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for Hawkeye. I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to keep watching it or not. It hurts my brain to sit there and sit through this, because I am constantly sitting there going, why? Or what? Or, oh my God. Yeah. Like, they're seriously the main three reactions that I'm having throughout this entire series. Anyway.
I'm just kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
Why would he do that? How did
There's a lot of that. Why? There's a lot of asking why.
It's out of character. It's out of character, and that's pretty much what they are now. They're not they're shells of their former selves. All the original MCU guys. Shells.
Anyway, it's for kids, Ryno. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be for the MCU fans, right? Mm. That extends past children. Same with Star Wars. Anyway. Yep. Steph, you got to go. Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Please let everyone know where they can find you and what you've got coming up, if anything.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch, all at the same My Nerdy Home. And what do I have coming up? Tomorrow I will be on Nina and Vinny's channel for Infinite Hope.
Nice.
And then Saturday, the Full Oze.
Yeah.
The Full Oze.
Full Aussie. Awesome. Well, again, thanks for coming on, Steph. I needed somebody to talk to about this because I knew that you'd seen it. And we were in the chat last night and we were all talking about pussy or something. And Steph's just talking about the
Hawkeye.
the Hawkeye stuff. Lyndon's
Hawkeye's
like,
terrible.
Steph, stop talking about Hawkeye. We're talking about pussy. It's so fucking funny. But yes, thank you for coming on.
That was Lyndon. Lyndon was getting upset.
Yeah, it was gold.
Like,
but yeah, thanks for coming
terrible.
on. Have a good sleep. Happy
Thanks.
Thanksgiving and
Happy
take care.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now there was one thing that I was going to wrap it up there, but there was this, and if I can put this in the private chat, Greg, if you can.
Now what?
One more thing. And I'm going to just go feed these cats. Because Eric won't shut up. So it's a Screen Rant article.
Oh, so it's not accurate.
About the Rangers of the New Republic.
Okay.
So this will be interesting. Or will it?
I doubt it'll be interesting. The show obviously was dead when they canned Gina, but
yes. Well, this is talking about something to do with her. Hold on. Do you want to bring this up? I can show it. Do you want to just read through it? I'm going to go feed these cats.
You're going to feed the cats and I'm going to read the article?
Well, no, just read a little bit. I can hear while I quickly run off and do that. I will literally be at like a minute, not even.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk about something else while I'm doing that.
No. You can... I'm excited to hear about Rangers of the New Republic. Scripts were never written for Star Wars show. Well, I can start off by saying, well, no shit. This was going to be a Dave and John show, and Dave and John aren't that far ahead that they would have scripts ready to go for this show. They're writing one show at a time. They had to get through Book of Boba Fett, and then I assume the next order of business is going to be either Mando season 3 or Ahsoka. So, yeah, the fact that the scripts haven't been written yet, well, yeah, if it's going to be John and Dave writing them.
And not only that, if Gina Carano is not there, I mean, think about the fact that we got told that the Obi-Wan script was complete, and then that underwent a heap of rewrites, and the script was not, it was too familiar to something or whatever. I mean, they're not investing any time into these things unless they are 100% a go. So I don't know.
Right, because they're busy. Like, you have two people running, executive producing and running 4 or 5 shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're going to be pretty busy. But this one is, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy confirms that Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic series never had any scripts written. Announced in December of 2020, Rangers of the New Republic was to serve as a spin-off for The Mandalorian, with many assuming it would follow the adventures of Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano. According to Kennedy, the series would be executive produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, would eventually converge and culminate with a huge crossover between The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka. Only several months after the series was announced, however, Gina Carano was let go from her contract with Lucasfilm for her controversial social media posts comparing the political situation in the U.S. to that of Nazi Germany. It was also confirmed that Carano was not featured in any forthcoming Disney products, and the character of Dune would not be recast. Since Carano's firing, Lucasfilm has been radio silent on the status of Rangers of the New Republic, with the only official word coming in May claiming that the show was not in active development. In a new interview with Empire, as per comic book, Kennedy finally addressed the status of Rangers of the New Republic and seemingly confirmed the show is well and truly dead in the water. Of the series, Kennedy says, quite simply, "We'd never written any scripts or anything on that." Wow. Big in-depth explanation there. While it was announced in May that the series was not in active development, it could have still been on the back burner or something that Lucasfilm and Disney were planning to revisit. Now, with Kennedy's comments, Rangers of the New Republic is almost certainly canceled. Scripts for the series in development go through many rounds of notes long before the shows ever go to camera. Scripts for the Obi-Wan series were being reworked for months before the show actually began production. This means the timeline of the planned culmination of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Boba Fett would undoubtedly be thrown off, even if Rangers of the New Republic scripts started being worked on immediately. Although there was never any official word that Cara Dune was to be the central character in Rangers of the New Republic, the timeline in terms of her firing and the new revelation that scripts of the show were never completed lends further credence to the notion that Carano is one of the main reasons the show was canceled. It's entirely possible that there were other factors that led to work on the series hitting a wall, but considering The Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Ahsoka are now all confirmed to be in various stages of development, it certainly seems likely that Carano is the main reason. Regardless of why Rangers of the New Republic isn't moving forward, though, fans will still have plenty of Star Wars content to consume in the months ahead, with the Book of Boba Fett scheduled to premiere in December 29th.
Well, I think this just solidifies
Nothing
Gina,
burger.
It's just nothing burger. Gina's not going back to Disney, not going back to Lucasfilm, not going back to Star Wars. And I'd like to say that I'm happy to be wrong, but I actually wouldn't be happy to be wrong. If Gina Carano went back to Lucasfilm, went back to Disney to reprise her role as Cara Dune, she loses all my respect.
Yeah,
and everything that she's been saying, the photos, everything. I know it's a lot to do with, it's a lot to do with politics, and it's a lot to do with vaccines and mandates and this and that, right? But there was a lot that went on around the time of her being publicly fired on social media by Lucasfilm, by Disney, right? And a lot of shit was said by a lot of different people. And when I say shit in that sense, I'm just saying stuff was said by a lot of different people. To me, that it felt like that moment was the moment that people decided to leave Star Wars or to think that Star Wars was dead. And I don't see the correlation. I don't understand it. I don't see how a person could not like Star Wars because they've fired someone. How about you not like Star Wars because they're actually doing destruction to that universe?
Just based on the quality of the shows, but
and
the
look,
quality of the shows compared to the movies is what everybody's going on, and that's still subpar.
G'day, Holocron. And as I said earlier, the character of Cara Dune from season 1 to season 2 was inconsistent, like really badly inconsistent.
And her character ultimately is not important to what's going on in the universe. Like nothing she was personally like. She was a friend of Din Djarin and a friend of Apollo Calrissian.
Why am I blanking now on his fucking name? Great Karga, that's it.
But he's Apollo Calrissian. He is. I'm sorry.
I like that. It's the first time I've actually heard it though. Apollo Calrissian. It's good.
Like her character was never like is not an integral part of that. She's an extra helper along the way, but doesn't play like that could be played by any other character that just is a friend and is a helper and does, you know, boxes a couple guys in the head and that's her role, and you know, runs around with a blaster. Her dynamic with the main character was cold. It was not there wasn't one, and she's just not an important part of it. So like, even if they had this grand plan to somehow, you know, to bring together the three different shows, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and Book of Boba Fett, into some big crossover event, like a CW type of thing, her part is pretty replaceable.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. But on the flip side of it, like, look, the concept is already there. What the work they've done doesn't just get erased. They don't delete the files because they're running out of hard drive space. So whatever they were working on, concept art, ideas, or whatever, as long as they wrote it down and recorded it in some fashion, it's still there. So they could decide 3 weeks from now, hey, we're going to do this show. We're just going to recast Cara Dune, or we're just not going to use Cara Dune in Rangers of the New Republic. We'll use somebody else. We'll create a new character, introduce them in Mando season 3, and then spin her off after that. Like,
it would be the Filoni pilot and the Miyagi pilot. Yeah, do a Rangers of the New Republic revolving around them.
Could get his own show. It like none of that really matters, and like it's not a big deal that they're not doing the show. I don't, when they're trying to tie all these things into the bigger picture of what's going on in the Star Wars universe, and they've made every attempt to do so. They're tying in characters from the movies. You know, we saw Luke, we saw Boba Fett. We're seeing all these cameos, Ahsoka, and all these other things. They're trying to tie it to the mainline story that takes place between the two trilogies.
Yeah.
These aren't standalone other adventures. They're tied into the main story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that important. And that main story ties into episodes 7, 8, and 9. You know, make no mistake about it. It doesn't matter. So I mean, that's why I say it's a nothing burger. Like I don't think anybody thought that the show was going to go forward without Cara Dune. Like we knew that she was going to be one of the lead or one of the main leads in that story, and without her, they would be spinning off the show with completely new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at The Mandalorian and the number of characters that we've been introduced to in that show, it's been pretty insignificant when it comes to just characters with a speaking role. You go through season 1, this is the way guy, he's dead.
Both seasons had the same thing. It was like every episode you meet the new cameo, and then at the end of this season, they all come together for a little mission.
But like who's left? So yeah, like I forget his name, but he was this is the way or whatever, that guy.
Yeah, Nick Nolte.
He died in the dead. Yeah, Nick Nolte's character. He died in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
The IG droid blew himself up for no damn good reason.
Yeah.
In the end of season 1. Who do you have left? You have Grief Karga.
Cara Dune.
You have Cara Dune, and then you have Bill Barr.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you somehow try and bring back the Star Wars version of
but even Bill Burr's character,
Suicide Squad from the prison episode.
Yeah.
Like you maybe bring some of their characters back, but like he doesn't interact with that many people, and he has no personal relationship with anybody other than
the Bill Burr character is inconsistent. The Bill Burr character is inconsistent from season 1 to season 2 as well.
He's inconsistent.
So funny.
In the episode. He's like,
no, I know.
He used to care about the average trooper guy And then he
and then he
blows up a base full
blows
of
up an
average
entire
super
base
guy.
full of average super guys. Yeah, I know. Oh man, there's so much wrong with the Mandalorian.
Well, it is. It's because it's just not well.
It's not well thought out. It's not well put together.
Because
it's so funny
they're
that
hamstrung
nearly
by
everything from
time.
season 1 got ignored in season 2, even with the character development. Right? You had tracking fobs in season 1 that gets completely dropped in season 2. You've got these character aspects to Cara Dune, Bill Burr, and these characters that when we get into season 2, it's completely different. It's a completely different character. Grief Karga. I mean, his evolution goes from the through the season 1. After he gets force healed, it's like, you know, he force healed his mind as well from being this evil guy that now wants to open schools.
See, I don't think his character was necessarily evil, but he was a cutthroat business guy. Like he was a leader. His character started off, he's the leader of the Bounty Hunters Guild, or one of the leaders of the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Yeah.
They could say that he was a lower level guy and there's still the rest of the Bounty Hunters Guild out there or something. But for that territory, whatever, he was the head honcho. And he was ruthless, a ruthless businessman. And then he decided that he, you know, by season 2, suddenly he's the benevolent mayor of the city.
Yeah, and wants to just, you
know, setting up schools for kids and all these other things. But
then there's also the information
holding this guy to be like an indentured servant, and forcing him to do things to arbitrarily remove years off of his sentence, that the Blue Man guy. Like, but he's a good guy, but he's not a good guy, and he's the benevolent mayor, and he's turned a new leaf. And like, I guess the Bounty Hunters Guild are all just like, well, fuck it, we're all out of a job, so oh well. And like there's no bounty hunter. They were all there on the planet in the one episode, and they all died. There's no more bounty hunters in the universe to like restart the Bounty Hunters Guild or go after him or do anything. They're gone.
And all the Mandalorians that were there are all gone as well.
Yeah, all the Mandalorians.
They left their armor behind and just decided not to be Mandalorians anymore, or something.
Well, no, they got their asses shot out of the sky by the same troopers who 3 guys later defeated.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's a story that's just it's not well thought out of. It's just not well written. It's Star Warsy in visual and audio sense to a degree.
Yeah,
but Star Wars is more than that. Like
way more than that.
People like, you know, it's a story about a hero. It's about good versus evil. There's a bigger picture. There's a bigger story there, and this show just completely lacks that, and it's just kind of meandering, doesn't know what it is,
and it keeps people excited through the cameos. It keeps people engaged through the cameos. I mean, again,
but they're being hamstrung too, because they're being forced to connect it to the sequel trilogy, though.
Yeah,
and now you're stuck trying to explain to the audience at large, the Star Wars audience, how we went from Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens. Like we're in that time period, and now it's on these writers to try and explain how that happened.
The thing is, though, is that they've got no explanation for the big story, but they've got no explanation for the tiny little things as well. So, like you've said it best, I think Beskar is the rarest common metal in the universe.
It's the most abundant rare metal
in the universe. It's everywhere now.
It's more abundant than.
And when it's turned into armor, not even when it's turned into armor, because even when Grief Karga just had it in his thing, it's magnetic. It seems that every blaster bolt that heads towards anyone with Beskar, and as long as they're a main character, they will not get hurt, not once. The only time we see the Mandalorian get injured, I think ever, through this entire series is the explosion at the end of season 1, which is ridiculous in itself, having this E-web thing.
Well, no, I mean the Mandalorian is easily killable in other ways because he's the most retarded main character to ever hit the screen. I mean, you just throw a little toy in a big water tank and he dives in after it, and you just close the lid and he just sits there and goes,
yeah,
and dies.
And then he waits for the chick to come out and like dive in and stay under the water for ages. He's
fucking worthless. Like, hey, like maybe if I try and walk through the force field a 4th time, it'll work.
Man, this is the thing. This is the thing that annoys me about the rumor mill, right? Is the reason why this show got the praise it did. Listen to the things that we're saying. That what we're saying is not a lie, right?
No.
What we're saying are things that actually happened. Bad writing, bad storytelling, bad development. It's all bad.
Characters.
Woke
bad
moments.
Characters.
Woke moments. Characters are fucking bad.
I think the most egregious thing is the characters. Because honestly, like,
I agree.
Din Djarin's worthless.
But you know why it got the praise it got? Because it wasn't Kathleen Kennedy's side. It was John and Dave's side. They're saving Star Wars.
And people were comparing it to the movies, which is such a low bar that I think by comparison, is it better than the movies? Yeah.
Slightly.
Is it a better story?
The only reason why it's better, the only reason that makes it better is because they didn't destroy characters like Luke Skywalker, although they did at the end. Han Solo, Leia. They don't really touch those other ones. Again, the Luke Skywalker moment for me, that ain't Luke. It isn't Luke.
Well,
first of all, the droids that he just goes through, I don't see how anyone can say that it's epic when they're barely even shooting at him, right? When he arrives on the ship, it's almost like they all turn around in a trance, stop what they're doing, and wait for them to just die. March towards him until they die.
Actually, I thought that scene, as far as like action goes, was really, really lame. Like, I didn't think it was epic at all. I thought it was just like,
the only thing that I feel,
you made these robots out to be like the end-all super threat.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking to myself, like, why can't Din Djarin, who has the lightsaber, because he's at this moment, he's in possession of the Darksaber, and he's wearing
Beskar spear,
and a Beskar spear, and he's literally wearing invincible armor.
Yep. Why wouldn't he go
off the bridge?
He's got a jetpack on. I've said this before. Why doesn't he just trigger his jetpack, fly through the corridor with the saber and the spear, and just take them all out in a second? Like, the hero of the Mandalorian, the name of the show, wasn't even the hero of his own fucking show. No, and he could have been, because he was armed to the teeth to be able to do it.
And wearing invincible armor.
It's
his armor got stronger as the show progressed.
But
like,
then
the explosion thing was like episode 7 or 8, chapter 7 or 8 by episode
season
16.
1.
Yeah. Well, like, I just call it by the number of the episode. So chapter 8 is the last episode of season 1. Chapter 16 is the last episode.
The last episode of season 2. Yeah. But we've talked about this at length when he takes off his jetpack and leaves it on the ground. And we've seen just a couple of episodes before that he's got remote control access to it.
Yeah.
He's running up and down hills. He faces this way with May from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at his back. He's shooting this way, but he's just constantly getting hit. Nothing's hitting her. She's fine. But then when the bullets start coming from that way, they've got to switch sides so he can take all the magnetic shots. Again, bad written episode, but no, the stormtrooper. Oh my God, Boba Fett knee rockets. Oh my God. Oh, he was supposed to hit the other ship. That's funny because he hit that one and it took out the other one.
Yeah, that to me was like battle droid humor.
John and Dave. It's the John and Dave camp that made it, and that's why it got praised the way it got praised.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
watch
it's
EFAP.
just
Everybody used to trust EFAP, and then all of a sudden, when EFAP started shitting all over the Mandalorian because of how shit it actually is, putting it on the same level as Batwoman.
yeah.
No, they're getting fucking attacked. Let's say it like that. They're getting shade thrown their way, saying that they're inconsistent. And all this other garbage because it's the John and Dave camp. You were all hypnotized by a fucking bullshit made up rumor.
Got him wound up again.
And the
Yeah.
sauces. All the tomato sauce you can fucking put on it.
But just look at what we've seen, and it's not just that. I mean, you can attest to Bad Batch as well. These are the people that are going to somehow thread the needle to get us from episode 6 to episode 7.
Yep.
Right? They're going to be the ones to bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
And you know,
and that's why I say, like, if you like The Mandalorian and you're excited about Boba Fett and you're excited about Kenobi, like, you're gonna get the Star Wars you deserve, and that's fine. You got it. You want it. You got it. Here you go. Enjoy it. But I think you guys kind of lose the right to bitch about it anymore.
Fucking oath, especially the ones that you know sort of went after OG Star Wars. Myself and there's a few others out there. Stig's another one. Stig's very out there though. But
even that aside, just on, like, you get just set aside the EU, set aside the personality conflicts and all that other stuff, but just on the show, just based on what we've seen, you're gonna get what you deserve, and I think that if you're fine with that, then own it.
Yep.
Then own it. Stop your bitching. You're getting what you want.
Yep.
You've asked for it. They're giving you what you asked for, because, and you know, like, the whole thing with Kathleen Kennedy and her renewal is like, why wouldn't she get renewed, right? Like, you guys like The Mandalorian, and you know, I say you guys, I'm not meaning you guys in the chat, but you know what I mean. You like The Mandalorian. You say you're excited about Boba Fett, and you say you're excited about Obi-Wan Kenobi. What? Everything's pointing up. All the trend arrows are pointing up for Star Wars. Why would they fire her now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You say, oh, the Gina Carano thing? Well, obviously it's not affecting them because people are still excited about all these other things. And then they get to say, like, well, oh, no, John and Dave had nothing to do with the Gina stuff, so it's okay if we like the John and Dave. Okay, but they don't have anything to do with Kenobi. So are you skipping Kenobi then?
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with Kenobi.
Oh, but Deborah Chow did 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, which was under John and Dave. So, you know, it's okay. She's a part of the John and Dave camp. She knows their story and what they want to do with Star Wars.
No, sorry. That's just weak. The episode, the director of an episode, no, that's not a connection. That's not writing it. That's not creative control. It's a separate thing. Kenobi is, they're all Kennedy's babies. Let's be real. The person who hired Favreau, Kennedy.
Yep.
Favreau has said in interviews that he has a good working relationship with Kennedy, and he appreciates her abilities as a producer and her involvement. He's been complimentary. And I know people want to just dismiss that as like, oh, he just has to say that in public for, to save face. Or he could just actually be telling the truth. And all the other evidence, other than people's rumors, unverified.
Yeah. I think this is already...
The evidence posts to that.
I think that's already there. And thank you for the. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here specifically, but I still say Thanksgiving to everybody over in America. And yeah, I'm thankful for all of you guys in the chat. I'm thankful for Greg. I'm thankful for the success, I suppose, that I've had through this YouTube channel and the friends and the friendships that I've made from it. So that's what I'm thankful for at the moment. But I do just want to address this comment from you as well. To me, they've already ruined Boba Fett. I mean, they've changed the name of his ship. They've
That's
from
a minor.
from
That's a
one
minor
episode
issue.
that's minor, but from one episode, and this is another minor one. From one episode in the Mandalorian to the next, to going into this, the armor is just ridiculously changed in regards to polished up and that sort of thing. But I said it in my trailer review for the Book of Boba Fett that the taking off of the helmet, I mean, Boba Fett became a fan favorite character out there. He's not my favorite character, as a character that I don't mind, right?
I was never a fan of Boba Fett, to be honest.
And we know what you think of Boba Brat. But
Boba Brat is an abomination.
Get him, Dad, yeah.
Fuck Boba Brat.
I wish I had that clip. Now
The best scene in Attack of the Clones is when he picks up his dead head.
It should just fall out.
It should have fallen out.
The constant taking off the helmet and everything. This character became a fan favorite character through a very small amount of what we saw from Boba Fett in the original trilogy. He had some dialogue in Return of the Jedi. He had a little bit of dialogue in Empire, didn't he? Just before he says no disintegrations. But
he's like, he's no good to meet Dad.
That's
conversation with Vader.
That's right. But he never takes his helmet off, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's a law thing, like, the whole this is the way and the Mandalorians not taking their helmets off and stuff like that and not showing their faces to be. That's fucking stupid. Let's be real. And that's why it changed again from season 1 to season 2, because it was fucking retarded and they had no explanation for it because they're writing it as they go. But now we've got the Book of Boba Fett. This series is going to be the Fennec Shand show with Boba Fett. And the fact that he wants to rule is a problem for me. The fact that he is ruling Jabba's palace of all places. Yeah, I know Jabba's dead, but the rest of the fucking huts are alive. I bet you we don't see a hut. I bet you we don't see one hut. And the fact that Bid Fortuna was sitting on the throne. Are you kidding me? They've already destroyed. It's everything that I just mentioned there is destructive. And it's to their own story too, because the Clone Wars is canon and you actually see the huts. You can't say that I'm taking this from the EU. You can't call me an EU elitist for this one, right? The huts are a part of their canon. Fucking retarded. Fucking retarded. So, look, who was it that, Brian King, yeah. Look, the thing is people are still getting these bits of enjoyment out of it. It feels like Star Wars. It looks like Star Wars. It's fine to say those things. It's not Star Wars. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion on it anyway. But, yeah. So they've already destroyed that character. They're about to do more damage to Obi-Wan and Anakin or Vader. Apparently Anakin's supposed to be showing up in Ahsoka. So maybe as a Force ghost. That's just going to be, that's nostalgia bait. Big time. They saw the reaction to the rematch of the century. Ha! Ha! Yes! We're going to see them cross blades again. Nobody actually thought about what they were fucking cheering for. It's like the fucktards out there that are cheering for these vaccine mandates and shit like that.
I hope in the rematch, like, Obi-Wan gets, like, his legs cut off or something, and then they just don't address it. We're just, all of a sudden, he's got legs again in episode 4. That's what I'm rooting for.
Oh, you know what I want to see happen? I want to see Obi-Wan get the high ground and then Vader saying, not this time, and using these booster packs, they fly now. We'll have a flying Vader who actually will make the jump this time and, yeah, cut straight through Obi-Wan. But Obi-Wan's hate and anger will keep him alive until he can put himself back together again and go and fight Vader on the Death Star.
Darth Maul will come back from the dead a second time and interfere with their rematch of the century.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Anyway.
It's just stupid now. It doesn't have to make sense. They don't care if it makes sense. That's just that's the Star Wars everybody wants. All right. You can have it. Go ahead. It's yours. I'm out.
Yes. Brian, I don't want you to take anything that I said personally. I was just using your comment to make my point. That they've to me, it feels like they've already done damage to Boba Fett as a character. But yeah. I don't know about the Obi-Wan shit. Like, this is the thing. There is now 2 different canons. There's 2 different continuities for Star Wars. You got Disney's continuity and you've got Star Wars continuity. Actual Star Wars. They can make shit make sense within their continuity. Doesn't mean it makes sense within the Star Wars universe. Yeah, awesome, Brian. Anyway, that's about it. Anything more to say, Greg?
Nope, I think we've more than covered it.
I think so too. Well, everyone, thanks for hanging out. We've gone through pretty much all the topics that we had for the evening. Mark Ruffalo is a tool. Pedro Pascal is a tool, or Pedro Pascal is a tool. Kathleen Kennedy's doubling down on the sequel trilogy characters coming in. Lethal said that Cowboy Bebop is good. The Hawkeye is shit. Well, in my opinion, it's shit. One of the worst shows I think I've ever seen. And that's pretty much what we've gone through. So everyone, again, thank you for hanging out. Greg, are you doing anything with any streams soon with Tim? When's your next stream with him? Do you know?
Next stream with him is going to be Indecent Behavior on Monday night.
Ah, nice.
So we're not going to do Fall of Night.
Yeah.
Or the Star Trek stream this weekend.
Yeah, he's still got his son over, right?
What's that?
He's still got his son in town, right?
Yeah. So
yeah,
he's enjoying the family time, which, certainly a good thing and commendable. So
absolutely, more important than this. So everyone, go and subscribe to Tim because you will find Greg quite often over there on his streams as well.
I follow him everywhere.
Yeah. You're not doing any videos or anything, are you? You can follow Greg on Twitter if you like, at Lost Jedi 22.
Yeah, occasionally I'll have a good rant there.
Yes, he had a really good one recently. But yeah, everyone, thank you for hanging out. Everyone, thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the mods. Thanks to the members. I think the main super chatter tonight was Lethal Lightning with his stupid fucking Raylo crap.
His beautiful, well-crafted love story.
Yeah. It's fucking disgusting. Makes me sick. But everyone, thanks for being here. I will be doing a video on that poll I mentioned earlier. That'll be out this week, and I'll be doing a few other things. We've got the Full Aussie tomorrow night over on Lethal's channel. I'll be doing a couple more gaming streams, I think, as well. I did one last night, which was pretty fun. We finished the campaign and played some multiplayer. So thanks, guys, for hanging out. We'll see you next time. We'll do this one. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Pass just in the spare part canisters. Red 2, standing by.
Red 11, standing by.
Red 5, standing by.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil! Well, then you are lost!
Sorry, I missed a $50 fucking Streamlabs super chat from Jock Nerdy. He says, his triggered Hollywood. Rittenhouse was found innocent. Facts. Hashtag facts. That's right. Thank you, Jock Nerdy. I appreciate that. Bye again, guys. I'll give you one more. Why the fuck not? We'll do this one. This one's actually for Lethal because of his stupid fucking Raylo crap.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You